Agent Tech Stack
Summit.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, welcome to the Agent
Sume.
Tech Stack Summit. Is that a tongue twister?
The Agent Tech Stacks. I thought it was Agent Tech Stack Sume.
Sume.
Yeah,
no, that's if you're in France, buddy. Relax.
Oh, my bad. The Agent Tech Stack Summit, the tools powering top agents. I'm Nick Baldwin. This is Tristan Ahmada. And we are Lab Code Agents and someone from Montclair, New Jersey, Larry Weiss. What's up, Larry? I'm from Montclair, New Jersey. Nice to meet you.
We got everybody from all over the place. I love it.
Yeah, I'm no longer in Montclair. I'm in the Detroit area, but I'm born and raised in Montclair. So it's nice to see a Montclarian there. So, Tristan,
and you've got a squirrel.
And I have a pet squirrel now, guys. Go to my Facebook page and see the squirrel that's living in my garage. His name is Bandit.
That's pretty crazy.
He's super cute. He has a Facebook, he has an Instagram page now. He's a celebrity. We have a great lineup, so hunker down for the next 3 hours. But I want to, before we get into the lineup, I want to let everybody know that there's going to be one big winner of some Lab Code Agents swag, and this is swag that, like, I don't even have
swag anymore.
I don't even have swag. Like, where did they even get the swag? I don't have swag.
It's in my garage.
Oh, you need to mail me some swag, dude.
I'm gonna smail you some.
So mail me some swag through the snail mail. There's gonna be one winner out of anyone who registered. They're gonna receive a water bottle, a Lab Code Agents bag, and a Lab Code Agents t-shirt. But here's the catch. You gotta be on till the very end.
I've got my old Lab Code Agents hat on, not the new one.
If you have new swag in your garage, you need to send me some. We'll talk after.
It's all from our event in Coronado in 2019.
You still have that? Okay. Well, it's still good stuff. So you have to be on the broadcast till the very end. You can't log off. You got to be there.
You could also have your computer just on and then just jump back on.
No, they need to be watching because there's going to be a quiz.
Just joking, buddy.
You
could just record it with AI and then ask AI really quick when we ask the questions too.
Yeah, that they could do that too. So we have a good lineup today. We've got RedX, Power ISA, PropStream, Fellow, Calc, Real Estate Content AI, and Playster. We're going to be talking about the tools and tech and products and systems that you can implement into your business to make yourself
drink some
rich.
coffee. Go drink some coffee, relax. It's called the Agent Tech Stack Summit. Okay. There you go.
I have my Pepsi Zero Sugar, so I'm good.
All right. Really quick, some news. Just because in the podcast, if you're not part of the podcast, Nick, put in that podcast in there because we saw EXP acquired Next Home, which we're going to release a video on what we think about it behind the scenes. Just kind of the same type of video we did when Real acquired Remax, just so you can understand the mechanics on the back end that you may completely miss.
So we'll all of these, I didn't see that coming, dude.
You
can't say you saw it coming if you knew about it.
No, I saw there were rumors, by the way. So
I never heard any of the rumors.
There were rumors on a couple of things that were happening before. Like, remember when Compass supposedly wanted to get Berkshire or American Home Services or whatever they're called?
Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services.
And then they're like, no, we weren't for sale, right? But actually it was. And so that laid the groundwork for, well, what else are they going to be looking at that'll actually happen anywhere, right? And then Remax and Real. Remax, the rumor was that it was going to Stone Point, Keller Williams, but somebody was going to pick them up. So, yeah. And then it's all like Eric Ross says, real estate is like Pac-Man right now. And wait till you see what's happening with MLSs. Nobody's talking about
goodness.
MLSs. And all of the other software out there that's also going to be consolidated. This is why it's important to pay attention to what we're talking about so you can focus on the things that you should be using. All right, ready, Nick?
I'm ready. Let's bring on our first guest. His name is Tyler.
Dude, it's Tyler, bro. It's Tyler.
I know, dude.
His name is Tyler, your name is.
I was looking at the breakdown, and I was like, it was one of those things where I was like, his name is.
Well, now everybody's going to remember Tyler with Red X for sure.
He's the VP of Training and Education at Red X. All right, let me do the intro because I'm good.
All right. Intro, go.
All right, so homeowner data is everywhere, but without the right system, it rarely turns into listings. So in this session, we're going to walk through the prospecting tech that top agents use to transform raw homeowner data into real conversations, listing appointment, and transactions. You'll see how tools, dialing systems, and simple workflows work together to create a predictable listing pipeline. And if you want to turn cold data into consistent commissions, this will show you how the best agents are doing it. So that's a lot to live up to. So Tyler, you better deliver the goods.
Yeah, Tyler.
I prepared for something totally different. So I'm just kidding.
That makes sense. Wait, is it Tyler?
That's right. Yes. Yeah. It's actually Tyler, right?
Oh, nice.
Right.
I like that name.
Love it. I do too.
Okay. You guys ready for me?
We're ready, dude. Let's go.
Ready. Let's go.
Okay. Well, super happy to be here. As always, it's good to connect with you guys. Let me make sure I know how to share my screen here.
Gus is like best intro sequence ever. Thanks, Gus. We have to do something right. We have to do something right. And by the way, if you haven't used Red X for the last, I would say, year, they've changed a lot. And there are a lot of pieces, only because we use Red X. That's why. There are a lot of pieces on there that you really have to look at and say, wow, I really need to look at retargeting expireds for sell by owners and using some of the mailers they've got on the back end. Because, I mean, I would rather, Nick, I don't know about you, but I'd rather be attracting than chasing.
I agree, dude.
Right? It's changed. The world's changed. And I'm a telemarketer, but the world's changed.
What's going on, Tyler?
I think my computer is not letting me share my screen here.
Uh-oh.
I don't think it's StreamYard. I think it's
You think
on my
it's
machine here.
You think it's Fen? Fenyard?
It's Tyler. But that's okay because I've got the gift of gab. So
let's just talk about it.
If people have to look at me, then that's what we'll do. This room
got you, buddy.
Set up apparently didn't get set up right. So I don't have a screen.
Someone's getting fired today.
Somebody's getting fired. But let me use that gift of gab here for a little bit. Because the reality is everything that Red X does is about marketing. Right. Yeah. And Tristan, you said, hey, if you haven't used Red X in a hot minute, there's been some big changes. And that's true, both internally in how we process and do things here, which means that we're moving faster, we're innovating faster, our products are getting better faster, which is really awesome. But the reality is when it comes down to it, it's all about marketing. And when you think about what marketing is, it's the act of garnering attention where people are already giving it. And my personal opinion, because I'm also a licensed real estate agent, I've been with Red X for nearly 20 years, so I've got some unique perspective on the industry from this tech side. But I believe more than ever, you guys, we have to be really great marketers.
Can I ask you a question on that really quick, Tyler? Because we're all sitting here and we're watching.
Hey, real quick about Tyler's microphone. Tyler, do you have a microphone? Because you're echoing. People are complaining in the chat.
You might just need to shift the mic from the computer to the
mic. What about now?
Better.
Holy crap, dude. Where were you, Tyler? Where were you?
In a tunnel.
Again, new setup. Somebody's getting fired today.
There you go.
Right, perfect. As long as I don't get fired, I'm fine. Tyler, with everything that's happening in our world. So here's what. Let me lay it for you. Let me lay it down for you so you can help us. Okay. Compass Anywhere, Remax, Real, Keller Williams, now Stone Point. All of the lawsuits coming our way, they're not over. They're just going to morph into something crazier. MLS now splitting up and saying, wait, we're with Compass. No, we're not with Compass, right? Pre-listing, previews, all this walled garden stuff. And now on top of that, MLSs are struggling financially, right? We've gone from over 1,000 MLSs to now less than 500 about. And then on top of that, all of these software companies that are going to now start doing the same thing real estate is doing, software companies in real estate. They're like, hey, we're barely making it. AI is making it really tough for us. Where does that leave us? What should we be focused on so that we can succeed? Because it's all distracting.
So that is such a good question. And I had some really good slides that would have answered that really well. But let me share something personal here, because this will articulate the point that I want to make. I grew up in Montana on Flathead Lake. And Flathead Lake is known for having these cherry orchards that grow amazing cherries. And so every summer, my wife and I go back home to Montana. We take my kids home. And when my kids were younger, they're older now, but when they were younger, we'd take them to these cherry orchards where they could go pick cherries. Okay. So you take my kids, we take them into the orchard, you put a little like front pack on them, and you send them out into the orchard. And when my kids are like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old, they run out, and all they do is they go to the fruit that the limbs of the tree are so heavy with fruit that they're sagging down low to the ground, right? So all my kids had to do is grab fruit right here with their hands, and some of it made it into that little front pack or in their face, right? Whichever one was more convenient for them. But never did I see my kids run out into the orchard when they're 3 years old and then climb a ladder and go to the top of the tree to try to pick the fruit at the top of the tree, right? So you see where I'm going here? The idea is we spend too much time focused on harvesting fruit that isn't ready to harvest. We do this often. We spend time and energy and resources on people that are nowhere near a transaction in their life, which means we spend time on somebody for a transaction 24, 36, 48 months down the road. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't future-proof our business, but as a realtor, as a real estate agent, it means that we have to cut through a bunch of the noise that's out there and all of this stuff that's happening, like what you're saying, Tristan, and we have to focus on finding and communicating with people that are close to a real estate transaction, right? Like if I could do a show of hands from all of the attendees on here, I would ask this. I'd say, how many of you, if you didn't transact in the next 12 months, would have to leave real estate to find another way to provide for your families? And my guess is we'd see a lot of hands, right? We'd see a lot of hands that would say, I can't stay in real estate if I can't transact in the next 12 months, which means if we're not spending our time, energy, and resources focused on people that are going to transact within the next 12 months, then how do we build a long-term, a sustainable, predictable business long-term? Right? And so here's the inevitable question that everybody asks, because usually what we do is we get our license, and we all know what that process was like. We thought that we were going to learn how to be realtors, but really the state just taught us how to not get sued. And that was about it. And then we go and our broker goes, hey, call everybody you know, tell them that you're a realtor and see who wants to buy and sell, which maybe was like 1 or 2 transactions. So then we're left Googling real estate leads and trying to figure it out. So the question that every realtor asks is, how do I find the people that are going to transact in the next 12 months? Okay. Your database is going to be one of them. And there's some really awesome people that are going to be on here in the next 3 hours that can teach how to leverage somebody's database. What RedX is all about taking people that you don't know and turning them into people that you do know. This is the act of lead generation. This is the act of prospecting, right? Taking people that we don't know, turn them into people that we do know, right? All of these other tools where we nurture our database. There's some great ones on here today. They're going to teach you how to take people you do know and convert them. But RedX is going to put you in touch with the people that are close to a transaction. Like Tristan, I don't know of a higher converting lead than expired listings. I don't know of one, right? I mean, 43% of expired listings relist on the MLS within 90 days.
But you have to also give me that data, because where did you guys get that data? And then break it down a little bit more, because I don't know that people even know those numbers because you guys created those numbers from the research. So
yeah, okay. So a lot of this is done. So we're now we're in our 24th year of business. We love data, and we store and acquire and aggregate and analyze a lot of data. So here's some really cool stuff. Okay, online buyer leads convert at less than 1%. And have an average timeline of 24 months. Okay, so if you're working online buyer leads, you're going to typically convert less than 1%, and you're going to take 24 months on average to convert that. Okay, your database is going to convert usually somewhere between 3 and 6% of them. 3 to 6% of them are going to transact within the next year. Now, that doesn't mean they're going to transact with you. It just means that they're going to transact.
Tyler?
Yes. When
you get that deck fixed, can you send that to us later and we'll send it out to everybody?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I'll send it over to you. So your database converts usually about 3 to 6%. Well, if you look at some of the lead types that RedX is providing, 44% of the expired listings are going to relist on the MLS within the next 90 days. Okay, and I have some really cool other stats that I'll share in that slide deck. But an expired listing that relists with a new agent rather than going with their same agent has a 50% greater chance of selling with that second new agent than they do by relisting with the first. Right? So we've got some cool stats in there that I'll share. But if you look at expired listings, 44% within the next 90 days. For sale by owners, I know that NAR says 90% of them. They say 90% uses the assistance of an agent. But the reality is 30% of the for sale by owners list with an agent on the MLS within 45 days.
Okay, so 30%, this is national, right? So 30% use an agent within, did you say 45 days?
45 days.
That might be a question we ask for merch.
Hey, there you go.
What percentage? If Nick or I remember it by the end.
There you go. Yeah, if you don't think about that now, you're going to get to the end and you're not going to remember what questions you need. So
continue.
For sale by owners, 30%. If you look at distressed properties, pre-foreclosures, 16% of them right now, and this is all data that RedX is continually monitoring. Right? So 16% of them right now are listing on the MLS as a traditional transaction, right? Within 90 days. 16% of the people that get a notice of default or a list pens. And then even the for rent by owners. This is what's wild here. The for rent by owners, vacant rental properties that are being posted online looking for new tenants. Okay? 7% of those list on the MLS as a sale.
How many?
With 7% within 90 days, right? So if the idea is I have to transact within the next 12 months, we have to be spending our time on the people that are going to transact within the next 12 months, period. That doesn't mean that we're not future-proofing for our business, because if I'm prospecting on the phone or knocking doors or sending postcards or running ads on Facebook, inevitably I'm going to come across people that aren't ready to transact right away. Well, that's what my database is for. That's what my newsletter and my weekly email and my client events and all of these other marketing opportunities that I do throughout the year are for. But if I'm looking for now transactions, it has to be with people that are going to transact now. So go back to the cherry story, right? Where my kids are picking cherries. You have to think of it like this. The reason that low-hanging fruit is the best fruit to harvest is because it requires the least amount of energy to harvest. Low-hanging fruit is what it is because it requires the least amount of energy to harvest. And as real estate professionals, that's where we should be spending the bulk of our time, energy, and resources. And if somebody is 7 years out from a transaction, well, your database and your automations should be nurturing that relationship through until the point that they are ready to transact, which is then when we step in. So RedX helps do a lot of this. And if the computer was working the right way, I'd be able to share my screen and show Vortex and show some cool things. But within RedX, I can pick up the phone and I can call to these people, which I know that calling right now is one of those things that's like, does it still work? And the reality is, yes, it does still work. It doesn't work like it worked 10 years ago. 10 years ago, you could pick up the phone and bark at people and they'd be like, oh, you're an agent? Come list my house, right? It's a little harder than that, but the phone is still the most time and cost-effective tool in our business for lead generation and taking listings. But I can be on the phones. I can be in front of people on social media by using Ad Builder inside of Vortex that allows me to create ads specific to really target audiences on Facebook and Instagram. I can send postcards from right within the platform, along with a whole bunch of other things. And so like Tristan, you said a few minutes ago, you said, look, if you haven't looked at RedX in the last year or so, man, there's some cool stuff that they're doing. There is some really cool stuff that we're doing all around helping you take more listings, all around helping you find people that you don't know and convert them into people that you do know for the purpose of taking those listings immediately and building a database to nurture long-term.
When I thought of RedX in the past, I was thinking dialer, I was thinking calling, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking email, because you also give the emails. But over the last 2 years, I've seen you guys morph, and now I think of it more as social media retargeting, right? Which is important. Mailing to those. And then the other piece is, well, on top of that, you're helping me edit and you're helping me with the transcript of videos, right? And now all of a sudden I've got social media, right? And I've got mailers. And what did we find the number? You may be able to know this number out there, or Tyler. Over 50% of people that were selling over the last year were boomers. And I mean, they pick up the mail and read it. So
yeah, the physical mail, super hot right now. If you're not in somebody's mailbox, you should be.
So when I think about what you have there, those three things, social media, right? Video, because you're retargeting, and then mailers, that adds a whole different dimension. In fact, I'm just saying this, right? Even though calling still works, because I love calling and texting, I wouldn't really have to attract the old way. I could just focus on attraction through, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And if I'm creating that content, why not add ChatGPT in there? Because what we've noticed is ChatGPT is pulling from YouTube as one of their number one sources for all of the data. That's nuts, man. Yeah. And Antonio, hello in Portugal.
Yeah. The truth is, so go back to what I said a few minutes ago. We have to be better marketers than we've ever been before. And marketing is the act of garnering attention where people are already giving it. Well, people aren't giving attention to their phone the way they did 10 and 20 years ago. They're giving their attention to social media. They're giving their attention to the mailbox. They're giving their attention to authentic, genuine, face-to-face, toe-to-toe, belly-to-belly connection. And we need to be in those places. And so RedX has continued to morph as the needs of the real estate agent marketer has morphed over the years. And so when it comes down to it, 76%, I just read this statistic recently, 76% of adults in the United States log into Facebook monthly. If you're not on Facebook, you're missing being in the place where people are giving their attention. So I don't know how much time we have. I'll talk the full 3 hours, right? So
we have 3 minutes.
Okay. So here's the reality. I'll make sure that I get you guys the slides because it's got some cool stuff in there, and some of those cool statistics that we all want to know because we want to be efficient in our business, and having the data is really, really valuable for that. But I imagine that Tristan, you've got a link that they can click on that hooks them up with RedX.
There it is.
Here's the reality, guys and gals. If you've used RedX in the past, if you're brand new to the industry, or maybe for the past 30 years, you've been crushing it with a database and you're like, hey, I'm ready to scale above and beyond that. RedX is a fantastic opportunity. And again, we're trying to help you take people that you don't know, turn them into people that you do know. And there's some great presenters that are going to be on here for the rest of the afternoon that will then help take people that you know and convert them through great nurturing and marketing long term. But the reality is, guys and gals, you got to remember this: if you're not focused on becoming a great marketer right now, you're behind, right? So we've got to use the right tools and the right data to help us be great marketers.
Love it. And that's what's great about RedX. Like, a lot of people think of it as just a dialer with expired listing data, when really, like, you don't even need to use that. There's so many other tools and systems in there.
Yeah. I mean, my real estate team, we use it to run ads for open houses. We spend $10 for an ad on Facebook and Instagram. That typically gets anywhere from 2,500 to 15,000 impressions for $10 in 4 or 5 days. And we fill open houses like no one else because we market open houses, right? So there's some pretty cool stuff.
Love it.
That is key, man. All right, everybody, check them out. Scan that QR code. The world's changing around you. Make sure to change. Tyler, is that you, Tyler?
Yeah,
Tyler?
right. Yep, Tyler.
Tyler. All right. Thanks for jumping in, buddy. Appreciate you.
Hey, thanks, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thanks, buddy.
Have a great one. All right. We got our next guest is, who's our next guest?
You know him.
Hey, everybody. Whoa, why is my head so much bigger than you guys? Let me gotta zoom
Step
out.
back, buddy. Step back.
I know, right?
Or we have to zoom in.
I went overboard. On the zoom here. Okay, there we go. That side by side take wasn't very flattering. Like, yeah. so we're here. We made it.
Is this Gus?
It's Gus. Yep. Gus from Power ISA. And we are going to talk about how Power ISA shows you how to combine AI and a skilled ISA to make sure every lead gets contacted, qualified, and converted into a real appointment.
100%, guys. Hey, thanks for having me here today, guys. And, I'm here to talk about, really interesting topic, which is, AI. But specifically, and there's other presenters who are going to talk about AI today, and there's a lot of different facets. I'm going to focus specifically on AI for lead conversion, right? Like the latest and greatest. And what we're seeing out there in the marketplace right now, not just my opinion. I'm here to talk about like a specific case study that we're seeing, AI plus ISA, and what you can expect from that, right? Like numbers and tech stack and everything. So you guys can take a look. Within Power ISA, we use AI extensively, internally with the team to help train our ISAs, coach our ISAs using AI. And of course, teams that we work with are using AI to contact their leads. So I want to give you guys the latest and greatest information on that and what's actually going on there in the real world, right? So let's rock and roll, guys. So I've got I do have a slide deck. I think it's going to work. Fingers crossed. This actually works this time. You never know. This is live. This is a live show.
Let's do it live.
Oh my God, look at your glasses, dude.
100%.
Well, I had to put on glasses because Trenton said I needed glasses, so I matched with you guys.
Why do you need glasses? Did you have trouble seeing something?
No, it's just so I matched with you guys. Because now I look like you guys.
No, Tristan's live streaming with the Meta, right? Is that the Meta glass or no? No, it's not. You're live streaming the live stream. Going super meta.
Why not?
So, anyways, let's jump into it, guys. I want to start by telling you a quick story. This is a good one. And it kind of sets the table for what I want to discuss today. So, can we go to the next? How do I click? Oh, here we go. I can click to the next one. Here we go. So, that's not a real picture. That's not a real picture. But picture this person, right? I actually was doing a consulting call, unrelated to AI, but I was doing a consulting call with a Silicon Valley investor. This was a few years back. This is like middle of 2023. If you don't remember, it was a long time ago. It was a different market back then, right? And ChatGPT was less than a year old. Like the whole AI revolution, was just getting started, right? And, through the conversation, he was asking me, hey, so what do you do? Oh, I have an ISA agency. I help real estate agents, make more calls, book appointments. And he goes, oh, no. Like, Gus, you must be like, horrified. Like, why? And I immediately thought to him, because of AI or what do you mean? He goes, yeah, like all call centers will be out of business. He goes, maybe 12 to 18 months from now. He says every single call center job is going to get replaced by AI. This is happening. He goes, you got to pivot. You got to, and he said it with the best of intentions. He wasn't being, dickish about it. He was trying to help me out, right? Saying, hey, AI is going to eat the world and it's going to start with these, telephone, a call center type of businesses. Careful, you got to pivot, do something else, right? And I was like, holy cow. And that stuck with me. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It kind of hit a nerve. And I got, a little bit worried, a little bit paranoid, but it was definitely on my mind. So, fast forward to 2026, my company, Power ISA, has almost tripled in size since when ChatGPT launched. So I want you to give you guys a little bit of context, right? So I'm not saying what this guy said isn't true, because AI has changed the game, and it's becoming a bigger part of every industry. It's trying to disrupt every industry out there. But something else is happening too, right? The need for real people connecting with real people, in my opinion, is greater than ever. Okay, that need is greater than ever, and I think AI is actually accelerating that need. Okay. And I want to explain what I mean by that. Because if you would have told me, Tristan, that I'd have a bigger business post ChatGPT than pre ChatGPT, I wouldn't be sure if I would have believed you. Not sure. I'm like, I'm not interested. Maybe I got to go do something. Now I got to go do Facebook ads. I got to do marketing. I got to do something else. Maybe this lead conversion thing's not going to work out for us. Well, the need is greater than ever. The need is greater than ever. Okay. So why is that? So because this is the challenge of lead conversion in 2026. Okay. Agents are still struggling with speed to lead. That should be no surprise to anyone, right? The expectation of the consumer is greater than ever, and we're still sometimes just one agent, maybe a couple agents, having to pick up the phone and respond to them or give them a real reply right away, right? Agents still struggle with consistent follow-up. That hasn't changed. That's the same in 2026. Agents get overwhelmed with CRM management, right? I mean, we got all these tools. These CRM platforms are more powerful than ever. And for a lot of people, they can be as challenging as ever to really get the most out of, right? And it can be overwhelming. Agents still avoid picking up the phone. It's 2026. If anything, this is more true than ever before, right? And internet leads are harder to convert than ever before. Why? Because the amount of leads hasn't really changed, but there's less deals happening in 2026. Be honest about that. If the NAR data is accurate, we're going to sell less homes in this year than last year. And that's not great news, okay? There's the same amount of leads. There's as many agents as there were last year chasing less transactions than in 2025, if the estimates hold true, right? So these are the challenges we're facing, all right? And this is how I approached AI in 2023. AI chatbots, this was relatively new in 2023. AI-powered chatbots were going to replace ISAs. This is just going to happen. AI voice agents, I thought, were going to replace ISAs. It's just a matter of time. Why wouldn't they, right? They're just getting better and better and better, and this is just going to take over the whole scenario. And guys, this is a real thing. I legitimately thought in 2023 there was a good chance that AI would replace real estate agents. Okay, real talk. I wasn't sure whether that was going to be true or not. That was my thinking in 2023. Fast forward to 2026, okay? I have updated my opinion on this, all right? We have more information. That should change your opinion. That should change your prediction when you get new information, okay? Some people are immune to that. That's fine. Cool. Good for you. But when I get new information, I tend to change what I'm thinking and what I predict. AI text and AI voice help you build more relationships faster. Okay, that's my new thinking in 2026. It's not this replacement theory. Oh my goodness, how quickly is it going to replace agents or ISAs or this and that? No, that's the wrong way to think about it. That's not actually how this is playing out. Real estate agents and teams that are deploying AI tools at scale are generating more conversations, more connections for their team faster than ever before. Okay. Relationships are still being built by real people having real conversations. That has not changed from 2023, okay? That is more true now than ever before, and I think it's only going to get more true as we go forward, all right? That is the big change that I've seen in my thinking around this problem. And, like anything, guys, whenever I'm not sure about something, my number one source of truth, my number one source of information isn't the headlines. It isn't, what I see on social media. It's what I see from my own clients. I ask the top teams in the country, how are they deploying AI? What are they seeing?
For a
And that's
second,
what
I
we wanna talk
thought,
about.
I thought you were going to say, Gus, for a second, when I doubt anything, I typically go to ChatGPT to ask. I thought for a second you were going to say that,
And it
which
tells me
would
the
have been
truth.
hilarious, but you didn't do that.
Pretty good. So before we jump into that, this is the tech stack I'm going to cover today, right? This webinar is about like what are the best tech stacks for real estate. This is the tech stack for AI that we're deploying and that we see being deployed across the industry right now. OpenAI, ChatGPT. I mean, come on, like that's like the standard. You know, I think everyone, if you're not well versed in ChatGPT, you should get well versed in ChatGPT. It's very, very easy to use. Retail AI. This is an AI voice agent creation platform. It as easy as you can generate prompts and generate custom GPTs and ChatGPT. Retail helps you do the same thing, but for AI agents. Replit, which is a vibe coding platform similar to Lovable. There's a lot of tools to do this. This is the ones that we use. And Auto QA. This is a call quality evaluator. There's a lot of tools that do that as well. There's Maverick. There's what's the other one called? I'm drawing a blank. There's 3 or 4 really, really good ones. This is one that we use internally
Shiloh?
for call
Is that
quality.
the other one you were thinking of? Shiloh?
Which one? Shiloh.
Shiloh?
Yeah, Shiloh. Shiloh's the other one I was thinking about. You nailed it, Tristan. So yeah, this is their categories of tools. These are the ones I want to talk about today because they're getting deployed right now. So I'm going to talk about Alicia and her team. Okay, she runs a pretty large team out of Canada. And she was the first person that I saw with real numbers, real experience deploying AI agents, voice agents alongside human ISAs at scale. Not one, trying it out a little bit. A lot of teams are testing this out, like dipping their toe, trying it here, trying it there. But they were doing it at scale. To give you some idea what she did, 77 agents on her team, 155,000 leads in the database, all of them within Follow Up Boss, 6 human ISAs in the team, okay? 3 AI voice agents. And they measure that. And this actually tracks to what Tyler was talking about with RedX. Incubation time for internet leads, 18 to 24 months on average, okay? And this is a major, they're out of near Toronto in Ontario, major market, huge metro area, 18 to 24 months of incubation, okay? And that's you know, you can look at that number, Tristan, and get depressed over how horrible that is, or you can see that as a challenge worth accepting, okay? If you wanna, you can always hit some home runs with internet leads, for sure. But if you wanna get 10x ROI, 20x ROI on internet leads, you gotta look at that time frame, 18 to 24 months. I have never seen a team get 10x ROI from internet leads in less than 18 months. I don't think it can happen. Yeah, Tristan.
Scott, can you quickly answer a question because it may be in other people's minds? How does this work with TCPA regulation?
Oh, great. Really, really good question. So so people don't know, I mean, and you should Google this. I'm not a lawyer, but there are some specific regulations in the US. I mean, and you know, and they're different in Canada because this example's from Canada. I'm more well-versed in the US regulations around using AI voice to contact inbound leads, okay? It can only be done for leads that explicitly consent to being called by AI. Okay, explicit consent, which means similar to SMS, Tristan, where you have to check the little box that it's okay for you to text me. You like similar like what you see on Zillow, Realtor.com, a lot of Facebook funnels. There's a little check. That's the level of consent you need to be able to call people with an automated, you know, for purposes of like the FCC in the US and TCPA, AI voice is considered a robocall. And you can argue whether that's accurate or not. That's what the legislation says so far right now. This is 2026, okay? And that requires explicit opt-in, right? Explicit consent. It's not enough to put it in your terms, in your, you know, privacy policy, in your terms of service. You can't put it in there. You got to put it right on the lead form, and it has to be a little checkbox to allow them to call you, okay? So and I'm pretty sure in Canada it's even harder than that. But you know, I'm not an expert in the Canadian side. But it's got to be that or even harder than that, right? So people have to opt in to allow you to call them with AI. That makes sense? Cool.
Makes
Awesome.
sense.
And then even if it's a robocall, all the other rules around TCP/IP apply. Do not call list, and the use of certain technology. If you like the dropped call rate, all those things apply. So that's why you should use a vendor, a trusted vendor, like a lot of people were talking about today, like RedX, like the different. You should use people that are reputable vendors to make calls because they're going to comply with federal law. Okay, cool. All righty. Good question though. Good one. All right. This is what Alicia and her team deployed at scale. 77 agents, 155,000 leads, okay? AI voice and text agents alongside real human ISAs, okay? What does that mean? Okay, so what was the AI doing? The AI would reach out to leads. I mean, AI would do what it does best, which is run 24/7, 365, right? In a very predictable way. Instant outreach. As soon as the lead comes in, they would get an automated text response and they would get an automated phone call, okay? And they found that was the highest and best use of AI, that initial call, that initial contact, okay? Because it could do it at scale. It could do it very, very well, very, very quickly and reliably, okay? And it would gather a little bit of initial information and as soon as possible would hand it off to a human, okay? If it was during business hours, it would hand it off to someone on the team. If it was outside, it would try to schedule a call for the next day. That is the deployment of AI. What they found was if they wanted the AI to do too much, that's where the problems would start, right? If you wanted to go through like a huge script and handle a bunch of different objections, that's where things would get cumbersome. Right? Because, things like hallucinations can exist. And a lot of people, they don't love dealing with an AI bot. And you have to be in Canada and in the US, Tristan, here's another one. You have to be explicit that this is an AI they're talking to, right? You can't kind of hope they don't notice. You have to be upfront and within the first 30 seconds, the same way you have to tell them whether you're recording the call or not. You got to tell them whether it's an AI they're talking to or not. In the first 30 seconds, it might not be clear, but trust me, within a minute, everyone knows whether they're talking to like an automated bot or not, right? It's pretty obvious for most people. Some people will notice actually, which is surprising to me, but most people will. Okay, and some people might not have a great reaction to that. So what they found was that if they kept that interaction short and sweet, get to the point, quickly qualify the lead. What are they looking for? What area? Just the basic information. Great. Let me connect you with an expert on my team for that area. And if it was during the right time, they could do a live transfer. If not, they would just schedule them for the next day. Okay. And that's pretty simple to configure with these tools. And then after the initial phase, the human would take over, right? And for the 77 agents, they had 6 ISAs just reaching out to these leads, either taking those live transfers, following up the next day, and just continuously trying to get people on the phone, okay? Why were they still relying on real human ISAs, right? Because even though the AI was amazing at the speed, at the accuracy, right, of the work, the AI wasn't great at building a relationship. Not yet, right? This is 2026. Who knows? It might change, right? But, and also these leads, like I said, 18 to 24 months of incubation time, okay? These leads, it's not just a one and done. They need to be nurtured. And through their experimentation, the AI wasn't there yet to do lead nurturing, which is, okay, what do you say on the second call? What do you say on the third call? What do you say on the fourth call? Okay? Because AI is amazing when you have limited context in this scenario. The first call, Tristan, what do you know about a lead when you give them the first call? I mean, you might know what they were looking at on the website. Maybe. That's it. That's all you know.
It's
you
more
know
like
anything
discovery,
about it, right?
you don't know very much.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you
discovery.
what. They're not going to answer the damn phone. That's what.
Well, only about 90% of the time they're not going to answer the phone. That's true. 100% accurate, right? So you don't know what you don't know, and AI is on a level playing field in that scenario. Once you know some information, once you've got more context, that's where it gets harder for the AI to do it on their own, which is why, Tristan, guys, this, I see this all the time. Oh my goodness, my AI, platform is setting appointments on autopilot and I can grow my business. That is just not believable for me. When I see, pitches like that, I see them all the time. Marketing agencies trying to do it, other vendors trying to do it. None of them here today, by the way. None of them here today. This is a legit, set of people talking today. But no one's really providing that fully AI automated stack because that's just not realistic. Not in 2026. Human intervention for real estate is still required because it is a heavy lift to get someone to trust you and believe you that you're going to help them with the biggest purchase of their life. That's my take on it. That's why I think that's important. And the ISA's job is to build that rapport, build that relationship, and then hand it off to the agents. Okay. That's the model that we're seeing. And this is why I think this model works. I already mentioned it to you. AI agents can handle what they do best, low context, initial discovery call, and then humans focus on what they do best, right? Which is that curiosity, that empathy, the timing, and helping people out before they're even selling, okay? And here's the crazy part, Tristan. It's not that the AI can't learn those scripts, okay? It's not that they can't learn it. They can't enunciate what has to happen. It's that it just doesn't convert the same way, okay? And trust me, they tried on Alicia's team. They wanted to test this technology to the limits. The best model they saw was that handoff model, either to an ISA or to an agent. It could be, in this case, they have such a large team, ISAs made a lot of sense. If you don't have ISAs on your team, the AI hands off to you. Yeah, Tristan.
God, quick question. If people want to see how this works, do they just reach out to you so they can listen through all the different calls? Or how does that work?
100%. If you want more information, reach out to the team. We can share all the details about, about this case study. 100%.
And we've been using Gus since 2017, 18? Around there?
18, okay. 100%.
18. And this last week, so we're trying to grow Y Realty nationally, but our Florida area leaders reached out to Gus, and I mean Stephanie is already using one of your great ISAs for recruiting, which is great.
Yes.
Right?
Agent attraction. That's the name of the game.
So definitely Gus we trust Gus. He's awesome. But yeah, if you want details on how this works, just reach out to him. He'll give you all the different recordings you need, and he'll put it all together for you.
100%. Love it. And, and what this, model proves is that even with all our flaws, because, we are flawed in a lot of ways compared to AI, we outperform AI in emotional connection. What do I mean by that? That if when Alicia tested out having the AI try to manage the full process, less people connected with the agent. When the AI handled a limited part of the process and had an ISA in the middle, they were more likely to actually meet with the agent. Okay. They were more likely to actually meet, right? Because it was just a stronger bond, a stronger connection. Okay. And here's the kicker, Tristan. When you have AI handling that repetitive 24/7, 365 initial discovery, your ISAs have to be better than that. Okay. So their ISAs were excellent, right? And really strong humans can outperform AI on emotional connection. Mediocre ISAs were just as good as the AI. I want to emphasize that. AI is as good as about a middle tier mediocre person, right? But if you have a strong ISA, they beat the AI every single time, 10 times out of 10. Okay. And that wasn't true a few years ago. That has changed, from 2023. Okay. So I think that's really important to emphasize, because this made her up her game. Like, their ISAs had to be excellent at human connection, at empathy, at providing value, right? Like local expertise for that area. They had to be really good at that because the AI was handing off to them initially. So really, really important to call that out, right? And this is the kind of the motto, the slogan they came up with after this experiment. They said, hey, AI for scale, humans for relationships. AI for scale, humans for relationships. Okay. The AI was giving them more people to talk to, but it was still up to the team to pick up the phone and make that personal connection. That challenge remains. Okay. That's the same thing. And Tristan, tell me if I'm wrong here, but I don't know any reputable vendor out there, right, that uses AI at scale that doesn't say you still got to pick up the phone and make that connection.
I think
the AI is great at bringing people to you.
There's a nuance to that, I think, because remember, my background's all telemarketing since I was 14 years old, right? So I came into real estate with already years of telemarketing experience. I think the one thing that's missing here, and it benefits us as real estate agents, and it benefits you, Gus, running a human-first organization. I think that scaling is good with AI, But I think the way you use AI to benefit you is to find what I would call those people that are wanting to transact sooner rather than later by using an algorithm. And then making that initial, if you have permission, making that initial text reach out, making that initial possible call. I would still, and I still prefer human connection being the first type of connection over the phone when we have those hand raisers, right? Now, I know there are other companies out there who are saying, yeah, you can't do that at scale. Look, I'm not going for scale. I'm going for quality. Our business is
100%.
suffering right now from trying to scale everything. Your job
Correct.
is to build relationships on a local level so that you can niche down and grow and people can trust you. As AI gets bigger, we're going to win. We're going to win because we're building relationships. The very first or second slide you had, this is all about relationships. That's all it is. The moment you start trying to leverage that out is the moment you stop actually connecting with people. So this is why I love
100%. That's such a good point, Tristan, because this is a hand-to-hand combat, kind of a business, right? Like that is where we add the most value, and that is why I feel that the real estate agent has been so central to this process for so long, right? Like Tristan, this. How many VC-backed startups have tried to displace real estate agents before AI? This is before AI for the last decade. Okay,
it's still happening.
How many billions have been invested by a lot of the platforms out there? Some of them really well known. Some of them, kind of walking that back because they try to replace real estate agents with technology. This is not new, and there's a reason it doesn't. It's because of what you just said, right? Because at the micro scale, these tools don't do that well, right? Like they're just not there. And even I think it was even the CEO of Zillow, the current one, said, "Hey, we're no longer going to invest in trying to replace you guys." Just that was like like a really big admission saying it doesn't work, right? It doesn't. We've proven it, right? They tried, right? And it doesn't really work that way. So yes, people are central to this process. I think that's a good thing, not just for me, but for agents everywhere. I think it's really good. But I think there are some scenarios like that, like 77 agents, 155,000 leads, where scale makes sense, and you got to use it in a really smart way. If you add 20 new leads coming in per month, and you're a solo agent, I think it's arguable whether you should be using an AI voice agent to reach out to folks. Like, you know what? If it's 20 leads a month and it's you are the ISA, right? You are the person in charge of making that personal connection because no one's going to do it better than you. Yeah. Certainly not an AI voice agent. I'll tell you that the data shows that unless you're terrible on the phone, that's possible, but you're probably not, right? And not even an ISA is going to be as good as you. Okay. And as you scale, you can add leverage.
You got it, buddy.
Yep.
All right.
I think I got 1 minute left. So we're rushing through it. Last one. This is, we're also using AI for training and coaching ISAs, evaluating calls in real time, and giving people feedback. This is real call scoring analysis of a phone call. It gave it a percentage. It gave it feedback. And we're able to do this much faster. And we used to evaluate single-digit percentages of calls. Now we can evaluate 50% of calls, 70% of calls, thanks to tools like this. And this is the AI voice agent platform that we use because we don't deploy AI voice, as a service, Tristan, but we use AI voice agents to train ISAs. We have the typical expired seller, the typical FSBO seller, the typical inbound Facebook lead, typical Google lead, and they get better at objection handling by talking to the bot, right?
True.
That is a really great scenario. So anyways, that's it. That's what I got today. One last thing, if you guys want a copy of this deck and a list of the vendors, you can send an email. Send an email to info@powerisa.com. And in the subject line, include AI for ISA. Okay, AI for ISA, and you can put it whatever else you want in there. Just make sure it at least says AI for ISA, and I'll send you this deck, and that includes the vendor list and everything we talked about today.
Perfect. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for being on again. Let me just remove this so I can say hello to you. Thanks. I love all the stacks of your books on the background. Good job on that. And then please, everyone, scan that QR code. We've been using Gus and his company, Power ISA, for now almost like we're getting into 10 years, buddy. So it's good.
We're
Almost
within-
a 10-year
within
territory.
striking distance. Within striking distance. I love it. And people might not know this. So you know, I've been a sponsor of LCA since 2020, but I worked with Tristan for 2 years before that. I don't know if people know that, Tristan. Like,
Yeah.
you don't just let anybody come into the group. You guys, like, you actually use all these folks and you get great results from them before you actually recommend them. I want to kudos to that, because not every group does that. I'm not going to name names, but a lot of the groups, they just let me in. They don't.
Yeah,
they
that's true.
couldn't care less what vendors get in there. So kudos to you guys.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, man. And thanks for being on. All right, everybody. We've got Prop Stream next. Let me bring in Burton onto the stage. I just want to make sure his camera is on. What's up, Burton? Look at that nice background again.
Hey, what's going on, Tristan? Loving the
Dude.
event so far. I'm personally getting a lot of information sitting backstage, so I'm over here writing notes myself. So, man, you guys are providing a lot of value. I love it, man.
Dude, you've got the late night vibes and the late night voice. Like,
Hey,
Yeah,
you
he's
go-
like, hey, everyone.
you go a little
welcome to-
deeper, and it's like,
Right.
hello, everybody.
He's like, welcome to Smooth Jazz 101.
Smooth jazz on K-Earth 101.
That's so true. That's so true, man. By the way, Gus said, you guys need to collab, because who was it earlier who mentioned something? We had somebody had a cat stroll along the keyboard, so you had a lot of dots, which is hilarious. What was it? I think it was somebody who said about Prop Stream here it is. Lisa, I think it was Lisa who said it, and I said what you should do, Lisa, is combine Prop Stream, which you're about to show us all the data backend and all the ease of use, and a Power ISA, and then have them focus on whoever you want to target, convert, because that's a powerful combination. That's why I want you to work with Gus. So I'll connect you guys.
Yeah, well, I love that. Yeah, anything to help
You're
people
such a
achieve their
connector.
wildest dreams.
Yeah. All right, Nick, you ready for the intro?
I'm ready. I'm going to use my radio voice. All right.
That's good. I like it.
Most agent. Wait, hold on. Oh, here it is. Take two.
Take two. Go.
Finding deals is only half the battle. Getting to the seller first is what wins. In this session, PropStream shows you how to combine powerful property data with Batch Dialer to build smarter lead lists, skip trace faster, and start more conversations that turn into closed deals. Let's go.
Well said. I don't
Let's
think I've ever done
go.
an intro for Burton. Burton, he beat me by a lot. So there you go.
Yeah, usually when we do our thing, I just go straight into it. So maybe that's
Yeah.
my fault. I probably
No,
don't
man,
give you the
It's probably
opportunity
my fault.
to do an intro.
I'll take responsibility. So where do you want to lead us? Because PropStream has so many angles to this. You
Yeah.
have data for, you really have data for absolutely everything I can think of. And
Yeah, let's definitely talk about
just jump
that
right
and
into
some
it
of
so
the
people can see.
key features of that, and then I can kind of talk up Dialer at the very end. Hard to really give you a batch Dialer demo, only because like you actually have to use it to actually present it, which I won't be doing, but I'm going to be talking about some of the key features that I think are very important for those that are scaling to that point. So let's get started here. Let me share my screen just to have a few slides to show just to get the point across. So I don't like PowerPoint, so I kind of hate it when I have to use it. But yes, my name is Burton Alicondo. I'll be your presenter today.
I'll be your
Please ask me
guide.
questions.
You
Yeah,
almost
I'll be your-
said guide. You almost
I'll be
said
your-
guide.
I'll be your tour guide today. If you guys have any questions, please ask in the chat because I want to make sure I clear up the fog for you. But what is PropStream? Let's start with that question. If you were to ask me, I'd say PropStream does two very important things for your real estate business. The first one being, where am I here? The first one being, if I can find this, there you go. Analyzing a property. Who we all need to do that eventually when we come across a lead, right? So
All the time.
in PropStream, you're going to be able to search vacant land, commercial buildings, residential properties, that quadruplex, that mobile home. You can either pull up the property by typing in the address or just zoom in on the map and click on that parcel. Now, what's our job when you do that? Our job, and we've been doing this since 2006. So what is that? I'm not good at math. That's 20 years. Holy moly. For the last 20 plus years now, we've been trying to gather you this data when you pull up a property. So you type in an address, and today we're going to supply you with property details, PropStream intelligence data. We do have our own AI. And long story short, with the PropStream intelligence, there are three components in the property details that you'll have access to. One is photo grading. We have instructed our AI to look through all of our MLS photos and grade them. So that way you don't have to go through 30 plus photos. We can tell you whether the interior is in great condition or in disrepair, the exterior, the bathroom. So very powerful stuff. We can also tell you how close a property is to foreclosure, or the direction, like whether it's very high to foreclosure, maybe very low, maybe you're trying to stay away from a property heading in that direction. So our AI data not only analyzes pictures and grades them for you, but it also takes into account auction data, foreclosure data, and then combines that data in that market to the address that you're pulling up to let you know, hey, this property has some similarities to properties on the pre-foreclosure category. So that's our PropStream intelligence. And last but not least with that, we added a PropStream intelligence chat feature within the property details. So if you're lost when you're pulling up a property, use our PropStream intelligence chatbot. Ask it to run comps for you. Ask it, if you want to ask if the owner has multiple properties, you can do that. And I'll show you guys a live example in just a second. So property details, PropStream intelligence, demographics, my favorite feature. It actually can show you things like income levels, how many people per household. And my favorite part of the demographics is how many owners and renters are in the neighborhood, because then that can help you potentially determine the best exit strategy for this asset, or provide the best strategy to the homeowner that you're working with if you're a real estate agent. Mortgage information.
Pam's got a good question
properties
for you, Burton. Does this run comp? Does the run comps function in non-disclosure states?
Absolutely. And that's actually number 6. You can run comps using public data or MLS data. And because we're nationwide, that means you have access to MLS data in markets like Texas, Utah, Kansas, just a few of those non-disclosure states. But we have, again, MLS data in every state. So to answer your question, Pam, yes, you can run comps in a non-disclosure state as well. So great question there. And then number 7, you can buy documents and use our rehab calculator. So this is PropStream. This is actually what it's going to look like when you first log in. You'll get our update pop up talking about some new stuff that we introduce. On the left-hand side is your toolbar. We start you with the search page because we think you're pulling up a property, or we're going to talk about this in a few moments, maybe you're building a list in PropStream. We do have some resources for you in case you get lost along the way. At the very bottom, you have our help button. So if you need video tutorials, maybe you want to join a live webinar that we're hosting, or maybe you want to do our online academy, which is a free online course, you can do that. We also have chat support, customer emails, and an 800 number. So if you just want to talk over the phone for the next hour just to get your thing situated in PropStream, we don't mind. So give us a call. But let's do this. Let's get a volunteer really quick.
Volunteer.
Someone put in a city in the chat, and what I'll do is I'll pull up that city and we'll just click on a random parcel in that city so that you can see what it looks like pulling up a property in PropStream.
All right, we got city and state. Come on, everybody. Let's have some fun.
The first one I see is the first one I search.
State. Oh, there you go.
Okay, Wesley Chapel. I don't think I've ever searched Wesley Chapel. Are we talking about Florida, Wesley Chapel?
We're gonna find out.
I'm gonna assume Florida.
Yeah,
we're definitely gonna find out. All right, so let's do Florida. Let's assume the answer is Florida here. So when we pull up a market, again, normally you would type in the address, but because I don't know of a property in Wesley Chapel, well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna zoom in, and I'm gonna go ahead and click on a parcel over here in the valley area. And so here's what happens when we click on a parcel. You're not going to only able to pull up the parcel information, but this is what we're known for. This is that list of things I was showing you a few minutes earlier. So Here's a quick breakdown. Address at the top left, tools at the top right, like our rehab calculator, our fix and flip calculator, our rental analysis calculator, an ADU calculator, or if you want to invest in this property yourself, we have a partnership with Loan Geek if you want to try to get approved on the loan for this property. You can print the property. This is very important. A lot of people love our data and they want to export our data. If you're ever in a property and you need the property's information, just hit that print button and we'll generate a CMA report for you.
Oh, wow.
You literally just take all of our data and put it on a PDF, so that way you could send it to the owners, you can send it to your buyers, maybe your contractors if you're working, whoever needs this report. So I would say that print button is a very popular feature.
Yeah, it is.
In the dead center, you have our dashboard. It shows you a satellite image of the property. If the property has photos, like it's been on the MLS, we're going to show you those photos first, so you'll have access to that. But in this case, this property has been owned for several years, and it looks like we only have just the satellite photo of the property. But that dashboard not only will show you the photos, it'll show you the property characteristics, property type. This is a mobile home in here. It's individually owned. I don't have to worry about the HOA. It's owner occupied. So if I go knock on the door, the owner should be there. And occupied. This right here means, are they answering their mail? One of the data sources that we have is the United States Postal Service. So we know who's answering their mail. That would be called occupied, and who's not. That would be considered a vacant property. So you have your property summary in the first box, your value summary, this year's value, last year's value, and how that's trended over the last 5 years. The mortgage and debt summary. So this actually will show you up to 4 open mortgages if a person has 4 open mortgages. In this case, we only have 1. Any involuntary liens, HOA liens, child support liens, tax liens, and then the last time it's sold and all that information. Equity amount is calculated. We can show you how many other properties this person owns, the wholesale price, the monthly rent. This is just the dashboard. And I would say usually when you pull up a property, your eyes typically hover here first. And we believe most of the information you need, like does it have equity? Is there a note I need to worry about? How many years has this person owned this property? Is typically found here. But if you just need more information, on the bottom half of the property details page, starting with property details is the owner's name, property characteristics, the land and location. Like in this case, I can get the zoning information, tax information, and then get a load of this. No 2 properties are ever the same. So right after property details, we'll let you know if we've caught a situation happening with that property. Like in this case, in 2019, the owners filed for a Chapter 7 bankruptcy. Don't know why, but might want to bring that up during your conversation. Maybe that's the reason for a sale too. Now, here's something I want to share with you. What's happening to this property is not happening to the property across the street. So while I go to across the street and pull up the neighboring house, you'll notice with Brian's house here, he doesn't have a bankruptcy tab. That's because in the last 7 years and 6 months, Mr. Brian here hasn't gone through bankruptcy. So we're going to populate tabs because of a situation that a property is going through. You always want to make sure if you see a tab between property details and comparables, you click on it, okay? That way you can see what's going on and help that homeowner even more, or at least understand the situation they might be going through. The tabs that you'll probably see are bankruptcies, liens, pre-foreclosures, MLS, cash transactions, just to name a few tabs that you might see when you're in a property details, okay? Now, after viewing the property details and then viewing those situational tabs, in this case, Brian doesn't have any, the next area would be your comparables. And I think Pam was asking about this earlier. When you're in the comparable section, we're going to give you several options to choose from. Comparables is our most popular one, but if you want to see who's buying and flipping properties around that house, you can, because maybe your end buyer is going to be a flipper. Here's 6 great options to choose from. Neighboring records, you might be in a cul-de-sac, gated community, and maybe you're just going to use the neighbors to run comps on that property. Or maybe this property is falling apart and it only can be sold in an as-is position. Well, here are tons of cash buyers who are comfortable buying as-is properties. So we don't know the situation that you're in. Our goal is to just get you the data so that you can pivot. Let's assume this is a non-disclosure state. How would I run comps? Well, I would go into the comparables, and non-disclosure state usually means I can't use public records. So let's just isolate MLS records. Not only can you choose what data set you need to use for comping, but we also provide you filters right below. And not only do you get filters, so being that we're comping a mobile home, I can tell PropStream I only want residential and I only want mobile homes. And as you can see, it isolates those mobile homes for me. Not only does it show me I have 2 MLS sold properties that are mobile homes, but I can see their characteristics, see how similar they are to the subject property. And what I love the most are the photos. Being able to see, okay, well, why did this mobile home sell for $265? What does it look like? And then I can make that true comparison between 2 assets, the one I'm working with and the one that just sold right down the street. That's $265 and here's $267. So even though I'm not in this market, I now know what a mobile home needs to look like in order for it to go on the market and sell for around $260 in this area. And if you like your comps, here's the last thing I would tell anybody to do. Once you filter out your comps, highlight them, and then generate that comp report. You actually can take this information, put it on a PDF file, and now you can hand it off to the homeowner to educate them, or maybe encourage a buyer to look at this asset in a different lens because there's value in it. But this comp report slaps the asset that you searched and the sales onto a given page. And that way you can show the owner, hey, look, the lowest value comp was $265, the highest was $267. However, that $267 had 4 bedrooms. Yours does not, so I'm not too sure if we'll be able to get that price, but if you want to list it for that price, let's go for it, right? So again, it's always about educating, and I think our data can help you a lot with that. So that's our comping. And then to wrap up the property details, we have the demographics, as I mentioned earlier. This shows you owners versus renters. In this case, an 80% owner environment within a 1-mile radius. If I'm the investor here, what do you think I'm going to do with this asset when I acquire it from you? I'm probably going to renovate it and fix and flip it, right? Now, being that it's a mobile home, might be a little bit difficult to do certain renovations, but you get the idea. This lets me know what that makeup is and how I should pursue or how I should move with this asset going forward. Tax information. One thing that's cool about the tax information, good old Brian here doesn't have it, but let me share with you guys what we've done with the tax data. Our team has been able to reverse engineer the tax address. Let me click on a cash buy here to show you what I mean. We've not only been able to capture the tax address, but we've been able to reverse engineer it so that we can not only show you the tax address, but we can also show you the linked property. So like this particular owner has 7 other assets attached to their tax address. So if I'm talking to them about this property and they're like, no, I'm not interested in selling this property, I can immediately pivot and say, well, what about the one off or in College Point, the one that's on 13th Street?
Now that's exactly why I said people should be looking at this and Power ISA together. Because if Power ISA is reaching out to this list of people, like, you've got the right script now. It's like, hey, not that property. Well, I see, you own, and I don't know how creepy you want to be, but I see you own 7 others, right? Or maybe you could just say, do you own any other homes, right? But regardless of that, this is pretty powerful.
And I think this is powerful for a lot of different real estate professionals. If you're a real estate agent looking for someone who might need to sell more than one property, linked properties is a good thing to see. If you're an agent looking to build a really strong buyer-investor relationship, this case, we have a cash buyer here who has multiple properties. Don't you think they're going to keep adding to their portfolio? So this is, if I was a real estate agent in this market, I would be definitely trying to see who this person is and try to establish that personal relationship, because then I can continuously feed this investor more assets throughout the next few years. That's a constant business right there. And finally, if you do other things, like maybe you represent property management groups, asset protection, there's a lot of things that you can see here that maybe they need to consider.
Burton,
So-
couple of questions really quick, just because
Yeah.
you've got only about 3 or so minutes. Kimberly brings up a good question. She says, can you search by those filings or just filed bankruptcies? But to answer her
Yes.
question, I want you to go really quick through all of the different things people can search for, because every time I do one of these with you, You always show me something I didn't know because there's just
I
a
love
lot of
that.
data, man.
So yeah, and that's why we started there, is because that is really the hardest part of PropStream, is gathering all that scattered data throughout the world and then putting it on one page that you can see what Mr. Edmond is going through. But to answer your question, that's the biggest part of PropStream, in my opinion, is that I'm able to search any market nationwide, Wesley Chapel in this case, and use that filter menu. And this is the true power of building your own off-market lists so that you can control the contract. So you go into any market, West Chapel in this case, and in our filter menu, we're going to give you 20 different categories. Someone mentioned bankruptcy. So yeah, you can select bankruptcy if you like and identify the 28 assets that are going through that bankruptcy. Not only do you have 20 different categories, from bankruptcies to pre-foreclosures to deceased owners and, you know, tired landlords, but you get to control the property type. Everything that you saw a few moments ago in the property details can be filtered. And that's why I started there, because not only can you use PropStream to, you know, research properties and underwrite them using our comping section, but if you don't have an asset right now, use our filtering menu. Look for that bankruptcy that's a residential property. Make sure it's off market by going to our MLS filters. And maybe you prefer to speak to an individual, so you can select the type of owner that you're looking for in our owner section. We have the lien bankruptcy filters. So here you can specify the type of chapter of bankruptcy you're looking for. Someone asked that question. You can tell us whether you want high or low equity. And last but certainly not least, we're starting to see people utilize mortgage filters for their search, like who has a VA loan, because we specialize in military men and women. So over 165 plus filters for you to choose from. And then once you apply your filters, we will narrow down those 26 assets that are off market, individually owned, with a bankruptcy in this case. And then once you have your lists, you're able to export that data out of PropStream, or just some other important features here.
You know what I would do, Burton? I would export my list and then import it into Fellow. And then Fellow can give me all of Fellow can give me the hand raisers, the emails go out, and then I'm like, at this point, I'm just there for the end. It's like the end product. Oh, I'll call them. Yep. That's how I would use it.
And then to wrap it up, I mean, we have skip tracing. I thank you, Leslie. She answered it for us. We have corporate skip tracing. We'll show you who's on the D&C list or do not call list. Litigators, we'll show you who's a litigator as well when you skip trace. And then if you need marketing, we have postcards and emails. And we did acquire Batch Dialer. If you're taking it to that scale, Batch Dialer is really the way to go. Not only do we aggressively drop the pricing to be more competitive than the others out there, but there's some features out there that you should need to know about, like auto litigator process. If you upload a list of phone numbers in Batch Dialer and you didn't know there's a litigator in there, Batch Dialer will automatically remove it for you. So you're not calling someone who may potentially sue you. Phone reputation monitoring will let you know when any of your numbers gets flagged as spam. And then what Batch Dialer can do is replace that number for you, so that when you're calling the next address, they don't see that spam likely notification that you get on your phone. We also have AI that gives you AI prompts. So when you're talking to someone, it actually can guide you in that conversation. And then my personal favorite, the AI summary. After your call is done, it summarizes your entire call so that you can either coach yourself, hold yourself accountable, or just see where the opportunities were in that conversation. But that's our Batch Dialer and PropStream, and that's how those two products coincide with one another.
I love that, man. Look at that. Concise, on point. Burton, thank you so much. Yeah, it's always super great to talk to you.
Always a pleasure, brother. And thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone for being here.
Last question, does this work in Canada?
Well, you can be in Canada and use PropStream, but if you're talking about the data, it's US, it's US only.
I like that response. Listen, you can live anywhere, just you have to search in the US.
That's correct.
That's very funny, Burton. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tristan. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you. That's awesome. All right. Let me just remove Mr. Burton, and we've got
Fellow up next.
We got Jamie up. What's up, Jamie?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here today.
Yeah, we
Awesome. I'm
love
excited to look
Fellow.
at Fellow because I've always been curious about how it works.
Oh, it's ever changing too. So I am excited to chat about Fellow today. Really excited. Is it all right if I share my screen?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Perfect.
Unless Nick has an intro. Nick, do you have an intro for this one or no?
Yeah, I mean, there's an intro if you want me to read it.
Yeah, it's always
Okay.
nice. You always do such a good job
So
with it.
most teams treat their database like a contact list. The best teams treat it like a business asset. In this session, we're going to explore what it actually takes to turn a stable, incomplete database into a system that runs efficiently, recovers lost revenue, and creates more opportunities without buying a single new lead. From database hygiene to revenue tracking to team performance, we'll talk through the operational layer most teams are missing and what becomes possible when you get that right.
Perfect. I love it. I love it. So, as Nick and Tristan said, I am Jamie Munchin. I am the head of community here at Fellow. So, I have a really unique opportunity to see how our users actually use the platform and really integrate it into their tech stack. So, I'm really excited to share that with the Lab Coat Agents community today and really want to talk about where teams start with Fellow. So I see this pretty consistently. When teams or agents get started with Fellow, they're working harder. They're buying more leads, they're adding more tools, they're hiring more people, but markets are changing and they're either staying flat or their profit is it's going backwards. They're not actually getting ahead in things. And that's where Fellow changes things. What we want to do is help our partners take advantage of their most valuable asset, which is their database. And we know across the board, no matter how many contacts you have in your database, 7% of those are going to transact every 12 months with you or with your ex-best friends that is now your biggest competitor. They are transacting. And most teams, most agents don't have any insight into who is actually transacting in their database because their database, as it sits currently, is sitting in a CRM that is just a digital Rolodex. So if we want to quantify this into numbers, if you have 10,000 contacts in your system, that's 700 listings, 700 transactions that are going to be happening over a 12-month period. 1,000 contacts, 70. Most people are capturing not even the smallest portion of that because they don't have any insight. And before I move on, I do want to encourage everyone to scan the QR code. It's just a fun calculator, but what you can do is you can put the number of contacts you have in your database, your average sale price, your average commission, or your average rate, commission rate, and then it's going to tell you one, the overall volume that's sitting in your database, then based off of your conversion rate, your projected GCI, and then finally all of the data points that Fellow can help you find. So
that's cool.
It's just a really cool, I geeked out over it the first time I went through it. And I was at an event last week and was sharing it with people and they just found it to be really insightful because you really don't know what is just sitting in your database of old leads that you've purchased that you haven't done anything with because they didn't transact right in the onset. And then they just went into a pond and you just continued to buy more and more leads. So really, really cool feature that you can just kind of get that insight. Now for what Fellow does, it cleans up your data. Data hygiene is key to using your database successfully. And without clean data, automation is just noise. You can't get anything out of it if you don't have clean data. So let's go back to that 10,000 contact database. I'm going to be really generous and say that 20% of those have completed profiles, meaning name, email, address. And then the other 80% don't have completed profiles. They just have name, email, name, phone number. But you're going to upload those into Fellow. And we are going to take the information. And if you have the completed profile, we're going to make sure that that's still accurate. I'm going to guess that there are going to be people in your database that they did not work with you when they sold and your database has not been updated. You have no idea that they bought and sold. Or for the contacts that you have only email address for, we are going to find out if they are a homeowner for you, and we are going to complete their profile with a ton of homeowner information. So we're talking all of the public record information on the home, when, number of bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, lot size, who the current owner is, make sure it matches in your CRM, who the previous owner is, all of the MLS history on the property. So when it went active, when it went pending, if it went back on market, if the price dropped, when it went pending again, when it sold, who the buyer's agent was, who the seller's agent was. You're able to see all of that. You're also able to see multiple sources of value, all of the mortgage information on the property. So when they took out the loan, the amount that they took out, the type, the term, if they have a HELOC, a second mortgage, if they are in pre-foreclosure, if their loan is transferable, you're able to see all of that, as well as the tax information on the property and recently sold properties in the area. It just gives you a really clear picture of what is actually happening in your database, so you can leverage it to be really strategic on how you're connecting to make sure you are capturing those opportunities. And then the last thing we provide for every contact is a lead score, which is a number 0 to 100. The closer the number is to 100, the more likely someone is to be selling in the next 6 months. But I always say it's not a crystal ball. If you would have told me 2 weeks before I moved into this house that I was moving, I would have said you're crazy. But it does give you a good guide. And yeah, did you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. So let's say for this specifically, if we go back to Burton and his presentation, if I'm extracting data from PropStream and then I upload it into this, what should I expect?
Yeah, that's a great question. So what we'll do is, if you extract the homeowner information, we will then just go in and provide all the ancillary data that they didn't have access to. So we'll just complete the entire profile, and then your team can be, or you as the agent can be really precise on how you're connecting.
And then it's still going to give me a score from 0 to 100, so then I can focus in on.
Yep. And then you can be, your team or you can be really strategic. So that's kind of what I wanted to move into next, is actually how you can then start using that data to connect. So if you are wanting to prospect, you can then create really strategic lists. So you're making, when you're calling out to people, you're having similar conversations. I don't know if you're like me, I'm an agent myself, but when I'm calling people, I like to be in control and kind of know what the conversation is going to look like, how it's going to be guided. So maybe one day I want to focus on downsizers. You can get really granular in how you're connecting, how you're building lists, and how you're connecting with those people in your system. Then if you are a member of, like, say, the marketing team, or you're having a marketing day, you can use Fellow for your marketing, whether it be email automations, strategic emails, making your dashboard. Every homeowner in Fellow gets a customized dashboard that you can share out with them. It'll give them a home value, but you can also make it really immersive and unique to that homeowner. So I always say, if you have someone that's lived in the home 25 years, the story that you're telling them would be maybe about downsizing, but it's going to be very different from someone who is celebrating their first anniversary in their home. And that message could be, here are some things that you can do to maintain your home as you celebrate 1 year in your home. Or if you have a $7 million home, their dashboard can be all luxury focused versus a $200,000 home. They could have an experience that is a cash offer focused, if you have a cash offer program. But you can use that data to be really specific, really granular, and really targeted. So you're speaking to the people that are in your system in a way that matters to them, because that's what people care about. They care about themselves, and they don't really care about your grandma's brownie recipe. They care about their home and their life and what's going on with them. So you, as a member of, like, the marketing team, or you as an agent wanting to market, you can be really strategic in that message that you're sharing. Next, I just want to chat about how people use it behind the scenes, because yes, Fellow does a great job of helping you capture listings, helping you connect with the people in your database, but it also is really good from a or from a standpoint of building your business. So one thing it can do is act as a coach for you, or support if you are on a team and you have a team coach. It can actually support you as that coach and coaching your agents. So we have something called property intelligence, which tells you in real time who is transacting in your database, whether they are transacting with you or they are transacting with someone else that services your area. People have called it the throw up report. It
That's
is
scary, man. Like Jamie, I'd be scared to open that.
I am an agent myself, and every time I get one, I'm like, ooh.
What's
But,
the report called?
It's a property intelligence report.
It should be called, hey, we're going to scare the crap out of your report. That's what it should be called.
It's wild how many listings are come out of a database. And once you have that data and you have the address tied to it, you see every single time one list. But the cool thing is that you can look at it and say, I got this opportunity. What did I do really well that I can continue to emulate? Or I didn't get this opportunity. Where did I fall flat? Where did I miss the mark? Is it sitting in a pond? Did I follow up with it one time and then I forgot to follow up with it again? You can really make sure that you are doing everything that you can to capture as many listings as possible. Or I always make the joke, I am a licensed agent. My sister is a licensed agent. If my dad were in your database, he would be doing all of the things. He would look like the hottest intent lead because he asks me probably once a week about the value of his home. But when he goes to sell, I used to say he would choose me over my sister and of course anybody else, but he actually just sold a house in his portfolio and chose my sister over me. So, but he would never be what I would consider a true lost opportunity in a database. But that would be something that you could know, and you can use that property intelligence notification to make sure that you are adjusting your strategies to continue to capture that listing. And then we also have a really phenomenal AI role play coach. At Fellow in the month of March, we host what we call the 30-day challenge. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but we developed this AI role play coach for that. And I have never seen a product as organically adopted as this role play coach. You can use that on your way to listing presentations. You can use that before you make phone calls. You can just use that to make sure that you maintain that control and that power before you are actually in front of or live with someone in your database or with a prospect. We also have Ask AI, which I think was a little bit like PropStream was talking about, which allows you to look up a specific contact before you call them, and it will look at their data, look at their history, look at all of the information that we have, and it will tell you the possible objections that you will be facing going into that phone call, which will just allow you as the agent to better prepare to make sure that you are constantly on the right foot and not starting from behind with the people that you are connecting with. And then the last thing I wanted to chat about is one of the things that I love about Fellow, which is what we call revenue recovery. This is a little bit behind the scenes, but it's money that you've made, but you've left on the table because you haven't had visibility into your database like this at up to this point. So if you are a team leader and you have departed agents, you can continue to monitor their transactions so you can see in real time when something that they have worked on closes and if that lead came from your database. So then you're able to go back and say, is this a lead that stemmed from my marketing efforts and they owe me a commission? And you're able to get in front of that to make sure that you are receiving the money that is owed to you. Or out-of-state referral tracking. To date, out-of-state referral tracking really relies on having the agent that you referred it to provide you with an update. Now in Fellow, because we do monitor your database 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and know in real time what is going on with those, when a property that you refer goes on market, you will be alerted. And then you can see who the agent is that's working it and make sure that you, if it is the one that you referred, that you are monitoring that property for when it closes so you can make sure you get your referral payout. Same thing with Mortgage Watch. But this revenue recovery feature is just a really powerful feature to make sure that you're getting all the profit out of your business. So, so yeah, any questions before I go over? We do have a special community today.
We've got a couple of questions for you. Andrew has a good question. Does this work in Canada? Which is a great question. We've got a lot of Canadians. Does this work anywhere? Right?
Yes, great question. So I'm going to give the same answer as before. You can be in Canada, but the data is localized to the U.S. There's just Canada has some restrictions in the data that we can get. So it is U.S. based business.
Awesome. And that's only because the data that the algorithm is pulling from is from the United States, right? So that great question, Andrew. Gia, I love Gia's just comment. It made me laugh. She says, the gotta be quicker than that report. Listen, Jamie, I think we have something here. You should put it out to your audience and fellow be like, hey, we're renaming this. What should the name be? Because it freaks everybody out. That'd be fun.
That would be a fun post to just put in the community to see what they say, because it is a love-hate with that property intelligence report. Like, I mean, you can get a lot of value out of it, but they're not fun to get, especially when it's a lead that raised their hand and you didn't do all your due diligence and they went with someone else. It's quite the gut punch. So
true. It's like your neighbor listing and you like saw the sign. It's like, I hate that feeling.
Yes,
That's the worst. All right, Kimberly's got a good question. What triggers that report? Them searching online data or applying a loan? How's that being tracked?
The property intelligence report?
Yeah.
So we have access to all of the MLSs in the country. So we are able to see in real time if something goes live on the market. So for a listing, you are notified in real time. If it's a buyer opportunity that you missed, that does take them updating, like the auditor in your local county updating. So that could be like a 30-day delay, but we have access to those MLSs. So so that automatically, as soon as the MLS status changes, you get a notification.
Got it. I like that. All right. Let's take a look at how to get a hold of you. What is the link people should be using to get a hold of you, or they should just scan that one?
Yeah, scan that QR code. So exclusive for this event today, we are doing a free enrichment for all of the contacts that you have in your system. So whether that's 1,000 or 100,000, if you have those email only contacts, or outdated contacts, we are going to find all of that homeowner information and bring your database into a living, breathing ecosystem for free. And then we also typically have a $14.99 onboarding fee. That's where our tech team does all of the behind the scenes tech setup integration. And we are waiving all but $100 of that for anybody that schedules a demo. So pretty good opportunity, really great offer that the team allowed me to share with the community today, just to get started. So
yeah, you have you're part of one of the companies that I think is so crucial to everything that we do, because it helps us with the data that we have that we don't know really what to do with all the time. So
absolutely. And then what's coming down the pike is wild. So you want to get started before the agentic AI and all that fun stuff comes rolling out a couple of months over on the fellow side of things in the fellow community.
I love it. Thank you so much for doing this. Great presentation. We loved it. Loved having you. And I know we're doing webinars with you in Lab Codes, and I know Gabe is over in your neck of the woods now. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, Gabe is great. We have a really stellar team here at Fellow. We're pretty blessed. He's
getting
great.
Stronger.
Yes. So we'll have to have Gabe on next time for sure.
That'd be fun too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
All right, look who we have. Look who we have up, buddy. I don't think you guys have met.
No, I have not met our next guest.
Jeremy from Calc. So this will be a fun one. I think Calc is a new company for you, Nick, and for some of you out there as well. What's up, Jeremy? How are you, buddy?
How's it going? I'm good. How are you?
Dude, your background is blurred, but I'm imagining what's back there, and it looks like you've got a whole Xbox gaming PC thing in the background.
My office is about a 1,000 square foot basement with all the electronic gear you could imagine for gaming and for work. So
Nice.
yeah,
I was watching you earlier. You were playing Fortnite while you were in the background. I watched Nick.
The kids
play
play Fortnite. The kids play Fortnite.
Yeah,
I play Civ
Fortnite.
6. I play Civ 6.
Oh, got it.
You play
got
what?
it.
Civilization 6.
Oh, you know, my just a little bit of a trivia. So my uncle Jeff used to he made the music for Civilization because he worked with Sid Meier when
Oh my goodness.
when
Yeah.
Civilization used to be owned by Microprose, and then my uncle Jeff left Microprose and started his own company. Now I'm completely Firaxis Games.
Oh wow, Firaxis
Yeah.
is fantastic.
Then he
Oh, my
sold
goodness.
he sold Firaxis like 15 years ago and literally has not gotten off the couch.
I got some boxes I may have to get autographed.
Yeah, so he's a
Oh.
composer. So the music in Civilization is my uncle's, and then he left that, started Firaxis, sold Firaxis to Rockstar Games, and hasn't worked in a day in his life since.
That's fantastic.
He's just
Yeah.
chilling. He's just chilling. I love it.
Yeah,
Jeremy, welcome. Nick, meet Jeremy. Jeremy, meet Nick.
Alpha Centauri is the big Firaxis game. That's the one I was thinking of.
Terrific Firaxis. Yeah, that was a terrific game.
Yeah.
Nick's got a great intro for you, Jeremy. It's just sitting on his desk, ready to be read.
I'm ready. Okay, so home sale contingencies are one of the biggest deal killers in real estate today. And in this session, Calc shows agents how to use guaranteed backup contracts to remove contingencies fast, give clients the confidence to buy before they sell, and walk into every negotiation with a serious competitive edge.
Terrific. Thank you. All right. Let's see if I can get this.
You want to get it to work, or we're gonna have a Red X Tyler problem.
Yeah, no, I've got the presentation here. I just got to figure out how to share it.
If not, I can always share. You've got a website that explains it too. So if you can't figure that out, let me know, and I can pop that open.
I
and
think we
then-
got it here.
Oh, you did. Perfect. In the meantime, Nick, have you been keeping track of the questions we may ask to do the giveaway? Because we've got only 2 more sessions after this.
Are we asking questions for people to? Oh, I guess we are going to ask a
Or
question.
we could just be like, yo,
No,
what
that's
was
okay.
your favorite
We'll ask,
session?
we'll ask some questions. I'll
right.
start keeping track of that right now.
All right, perfect.
All right.
All
It
the
says
questions will come from Jeremy's session.
I'll try
Everyone
to keep it. I'll try to keep it simple, but there's a lot to it for sure.
All right, dude. Let us know if you've got a presentation because we still don't
Yes,
see it on our screen.
it says it's processing, so
Oh,
I don't know if
That's always fun. Let me just go to the Calc website and you can guide me. How's that?
that sounds great. So,
All right.
oh, here it is. It should be up.
Oh, perfect. Let me
There.
grab that. You got it. There you go.
All right, perfect. So, if you look at the challenges that today's market has created, one, obviously rates are tough, prices are tough, disconnects between seller and buyer expectations of prices are tough. But part of what makes the market structurally difficult is contingencies create risk and they put clients at a disadvantage. And the longer it takes to sell a house and the more of a disconnect there is between buyers and sellers, the greater the risk created by a contingency. So if everybody knows that home prices are just going straight up and they're never going down, you go back to 2020 and everybody's just trying to get a house as fast as they can, then on the one hand, having a way to remove a contingency and make a non-contingent offer is critical to be able to compete on the arriving residence. In a market like today's, where you're trying to convince a seller to go ahead and accept your offer, which is always the purpose as a buyer's agent. When you're trying to convince a seller to accept an offer, the way that really materializes is less in the form of you got to have a non-contingent offer to compete, and more in the form of a non-contingent offer is going to be dramatically more aggressive because the seller is going to be pretty concerned about any contingencies that exist. And so what that translates to leverage for a buyer who can come with a non-contingent offer to negotiate more aggressively on price on the arriving residence. So that's what's different about a balanced or a arguably in a lot of places even a buyer's market versus a seller's market, is whether contingency removal is necessary to compete or whether contingency removal gives you a lot of leverage on your negotiation. And
well, I think you've got something here as far as so agents understand what this is really and how it helps them and how it helps us is when we're sitting down on a listing presentation, right? That's one opportunity where we can say, Mrs. Seller, Mr. Seller, here are your options if you don't want to go the traditional route. You found the property that you want. Here's what we can do, right? That's one option, which I always like giving, right? And then number two, if you're currently working with a future seller and saying, hey, we're not sure we want to do this. We want to just make it go fast because we don't want it to sit on the market for a long time. Or we've already identified a home, right? I think these are situations where you can come in and make that happen. The number one concern most agents have is when they use your company, what does my commission look like?
Your commission is still your commission with us. And so let me kind of walk through that a little bit, but we don't take referral fees. We don't cut into agent commission. You have the opportunity to sell the home for full price for 6 months on the open market. And whatever you sell the house for, whatever's in your listing agreement is what you get. Now, if we buy the home, which happens about 2% of the time, 98% of the time, the homes sell on the open market. And first, let me kind of back up and give everybody who may not have heard of Calc an understanding of what we do. We provide a guaranteed backup agreement on the departing residence that allows you to work with the lender of your choice. And we're partnered with a huge array of lenders. So this has become very widely accepted over the last few years. There are very few lenders who don't understand how these guaranteed backup agreements work now. There are very few lenders who don't accept them. And so when you think about the source of a contingency, the reason that the home sale contingency exists is the lender has to qualify your borrower for the debt to income ratio, including the mortgage payments on both properties, the departing and the arriving. Most people in today's market can't qualify for both the home they're living in and the home they want to buy. They just don't have the income to justify both mortgages. And so that means you make a contingent offer on the arriving residence, and you can't close on that arriving residence because your lender can't promise the investor that they're going to sell the mortgage to that there's not a problem with your borrower being able to make payments on both properties. That is essentially the problem that we solve. We work with established lenders. We are not a lender ourselves. We work with established lenders, and there's a huge array of them. We currently, I think the last count, something like 40% of all the loan originators in the country work with one of our lender partners. So it's a huge number.
So I have a question on that because what people may not understand is this can work different towards our advantage as agents in different markets. So where would this work really well? Like what markets? Because we're split right now. We have 3 markets going on. We have the market where it has a lot of inventory. Things aren't moving as fast as they were. Then we've got markets that are moving quite fast, right? Under a week. And then we got my market, which is just average, right?
Yep. So I would say it can be useful in all markets. The way it's useful differs. So if you're in a seller's market and houses are moving quick, then the benefit is you don't have to make a contingent offer when you're up against a non-contingent offer and risk missing out on the house. And so a non-contingent offer is about 4 times as likely to win a house as a contingent offer in a seller's market. In a buyer's market, a non-contingent offer typically translates to around a 3% to 11% discount versus a contingent offer. And it's easy to kind of check that logic as an agent. If you have somebody come up to you and they say, hey, Tristan, I love your house. I want to buy your house. I'll give you $500,000 for it. I don't know when I'm going to sell my house. I've been pre-qualified for a loan, but I don't know when I can't buy your house until I sell mine. And you say, well, when is that going to be? And I say, I don't know. It's taken about 2 months in this market to move the homes. You're going to go and you're going to look at that. And then in comparison to somebody else who comes up and says, hey, look, I'm going to give you $485,000. I can close in 3 weeks. There's no contingency. You're going to take that 485 all day long and twice on Sunday, right? And so that's really kind of the way that it works in those markets. In a seller's market, it's much more. You may not even be able to compete with a contingent offer, but if you're able to get them over that contingency, it's likely that the departing residence is going to sell as long as it's priced attractively. And so it doesn't necessarily break the transaction. The other thing that can happen in balanced markets or in buyer's markets is you make that contingent offer, you actually get you pay more to get that contingent offer accepted. You think you're going to sell the house in 30 days and the house doesn't sell in 30 days. And so now all of a sudden that transaction falls through, right? We fix that problem. And we fix it by providing a guaranteed backup offer at a discount that works with a lender. And the lender, from a compliance perspective, can look at it and go, okay, this meets my criteria. There's not a contingency on this guaranteed backup agreement. This is not a hand wavy, I promise we'll buy it. This is a contract to purchase the home in 6 months if it doesn't sell on the open market. And so the lender can look at it and go, okay, that's good enough for me to qualify your borrower without having to count the departing resident's mortgage in their debt to income ratio. So now they can close with a conventional loan on the arriving residence. Homeowner can move in and you can stage, show, and sell a house that you don't have to call somebody an average of 14 times and say, hey, Tristan, great news. I got a potential buyer. Throw the kids in the backyard, put the dog in the crate, scrub the downstairs toilet. I'll see you in 30 minutes, right? You get to avoid all of that and they get to avoid all of that hassle.
That's interesting, man. And I think that's very valuable. And a lot of people that have been in this business for a while understand that when you lead with that at the beginning and you're giving options to the people that are selling, some of those may take it because they don't want to go through what they're seeing in those tougher markets. It's like, hey, is our home really going to be on the market for 6 months before we get an offer, right? Well, you do have another option. Here it is. Now, here's where they'll come in probably less, but you don't have to go through that 6 months of waiting.
That's right. And 98% of the time, the homes sell on the open market.
Yeah.
So that's a really key thing. We make our money off. We're not here to try to buy the house at a big discount and flip it like an iBuyer. We don't want to purchase the home. We want to charge a fee that is typically around 1% of the sale price of the home on average. And again, you're usually able to use that to negotiate for 3% to 11% less on the arriving. So your homeowner is gonna lose 1% of what they would have gotten on the departing, but they're gonna save 3 to 11% on the arriving, and you're gonna give them a better process.
Dude, I love it. You've got some people on here that are interested. Pam is interested. How do people get a hold of you? I know you got to show a little bit more, but how do people get a hold of you if they have questions or they want to work with you on this? What does this look like?
Go to calcinc.com and there's an agent page that'll tell you a lot of information. If you want to schedule time with one of our team, you can
Perfect.
just
That's
schedule straight from there.
Okay, I'm gonna steal your screen temporarily. So give me a second. Can you see my screen now, Jeremy or Nick?
I can.
All right, perfect. So this is the page that Jeremy's talking about. You can go, this is specifically for agents, right? You can go and take a look at the rest of them. But when you go down, it's a simple 4-step process here. How it works: pre-approved, your client fills out a 5-minute online questionnaire, right? Boom, next. Bid with competitive offers and win. You submit competitive offers and win their dream home. Great, amazing. Client moves into their home. Now, this is simplifying it, but 4 steps is really what this looks like once you get into it. And to me, it's offering a really, really strong option to some of the people that I've talked to that just don't want to go through this process, man. Because the other piece that you may not be privy to in our market is that we've got luxury sellers that there are 2 things happening there. They don't want to take a long time selling their home because that other property they're emotionally attached to somewhere else. And we're talking millions of dollars. They're like, do we have to wait? We're going to miss that, right? So I love this. Anything you want to add to this?
Nope, I think that's a good summary. The only other point I'd make is, again, if you're looking for someone who's going to buy the departing residence, you're still probably better off with an iBuyer. That's not our business model. If you have confidence that the home's going to sell, it's in market ready condition, then in general, we're going to provide the same level of convenience that an iBuyer is going to provide for your homeowner. You're going to be the one who sells the house. You're going to get to keep your full commission, and it's going to cost your homeowner roughly 20 to 30% of what a traditional solution like an iBuyer would cost, or around 50 to 60% most of the time of what a traditional bridge loan would cost.
Got it. I like that, man. 2 questions. Steven, are there property size caps?
We cap our purchase price at 1.2. And our offers are typically going to be around 70% of value for kind of mainstream, $400,000, $600,000 homes. Now, market by market, mainstream shifts, right? So $1 million house in California is, most places in California is different than $1 million house in Alabama.
Yeah.
And so our offers are going to trail down, and they're going to be a lower percentage of like higher value than the normal value in the market homes. But if you're in California, it's not unusual for us to make a 70% offer on a $1.2 million, $1.5 million property. If it's Alabama, $1 million property is probably going to get a much lower percentage because there's just a lot more variability and a lot more, uncertainty in those properties there.
Got it. Rosa Gomez, how are you? Is this available in Hawaii?
No, 2 states not available: Alaska and Hawaii.
Rosa, you picked the wrong state. I'm so sorry. And we all love Hawaii.
It's a wonderful place, but you walk 100 feet and the value doubles. So we can't underwrite well.
That's funny and true. Kelly, so the full fee would be $3,500 on a $350,000 home, ?
So the full fee for our traditional offer is going to be 1% of our offer plus $2,000. So yes, if it's a $500,000 house and we make a $350,000 offer, it would be 1% of $350,000 or $3,500 plus $2,000, $5,500.
Nice. And we get our full commission.
You get your full commission. That does not come out of your commission. If we buy the house, we buy the house for our purchase price, and you get commissioned on the purchase price from us.
Got it.
You don't get the 500. You get the 350.
Perfect. And there are no hidden fees like when I go to a hotel?
No hidden fees. We may decline a property, and if you want to appeal the property and say like we see a crack in the side of the house, and we don't know whether it's a foundation issue or not, and we decline that property, and you come back and go, no, there's no foundation issue. We may at that point say, then we're going to need a foundation inspection, and that foundation inspection will potentially be at the homeowner's expense. It really depends on whether we think it's like our confidence on the condition of the property. We might say, look, it doesn't matter what the inspection says, we're still not going to make an offer. It may be, yeah, you're probably right. We'll go ahead and pay the inspection just so we feel we have peace of mind. It may be severe enough. We say, maybe you're right, but you're going to pay for the inspection. That's the only thing that even looks like a hidden fee. And we'll be very up. Again, it's not something you're locked into. It's only really if you're appealing our decision.
Got it. And then how and when is your fee paid?
Our fee is paid upon sale of the departing residence or our purchase of the departing residence.
Okay. I like this, man. So 48 states, you're all clear. If people have questions, is there, besides that website, if they want to talk to somebody, do they still go through there? Should they email you?
Just call Tristan. He'll answer all questions. Sorry.
I'll send them to Jim Black, dude.
You can go ahead and email info@calcinc.com.
Info at
calcinc.com.
Calc
CALQUEINC.com.
I think I got that right in the chat. And then do me a favor, everybody, scan that QR code if you are in the other 48 states. This is a great thing to add to your listing presentation at the beginning. Always see if it fits into what you're trying to do for your business. And I personally think you have a stronger, everybody else here, real estate agents, you have a really, really powerful approach, or stronger approach if you're in a market that's got a lot of listings out there. Like this is leverage, a lot of leverage. Anything you want to add to that, Jeremy or Nick?
No, I dig it.
Perfect. Scan that. We're good.
And get to work.
Let me remove this slide. Jeremy, go back to playing the amazing game you were playing. I'm joking, dude. Go back to
Tristan, work. And Nick, I'm gonna be asking your uncle for the autograph. So
hey,
yeah,
let me know.
Do it. We'll connect you.
Send the boxes my way.
Thanks, man. That's awesome, man. All right, questions. You've got some questions coming up that you're formulating. What's going on?
Well, yeah. I mean, we can't ask questions till the end.
Well, I mean, I'm just asking you. Have you started writing down the questions?
Yeah, how many questions are we asking?
I don't know. How many gifts are we giving?
Just one.
Oh, well, maybe we'll give out another one for something.
All right. Else. I mean, we could give more than one if you have a lot of stuff at home.
Yeah, but then remember, when it comes to mailing, I have problems mailing.
Well, Janice will do it.
Remember the time when
you promised a book and no one got it?
When Gary Vee was on the rise and we ordered that pallet. We had him on.
I remember.
We interviewed him and
we were supposed to mail out his books to 500 people.
I don't know that they all got to 500 people. But
okay, Julie says we can have 5 people for the Q&A.
Hopefully it's something I can order from Amazon that goes to somebody's house, because if it falls on my plate, you guys may not get.
What? Wait, I'm confused.
Maybe we'll send it to Kyle, and Kyle can mail it from his house.
Julie,
what's up, Kyle?
5 for the Q&A, 1 for the registration. I don't understand what that means. So she's
do me a favor, Julie. Make it clear for us what we're giving out and how many, because if you leave it up to us, we'll probably give out too much.
Okay. We have LCA merch to give away during the event. Registration. Only one winner out of all registrants will be chosen to receive the bottle, bag, and t-shirt. The winner must be present until the end. Q&A. 5 winners will receive a bag.
Oh, perfect.
Select at random.
Like a little bag at random. Okay, got it.
All right.
I mean, I hope they're all my neighbors so I can just throw it to them, because that's the best way.
All right. So let's go. Let's do this.
Kyle Ranieri, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, y'all? Good to see you.
We have Kyle from Real Estate Content AI.
Nick's got a good intro for you, Kyle.
It's a great intro.
Yeah.
I didn't write it. You don't have to be a tech expert to save time with AI. Join this. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. Today we're going to learn about automating social media with AI, using AI to create social media content, how to use AI without being a marketing expert, and I mean this. I didn't write. This is the weakest intro I think of all of them.
You know what? Let me do the intro because I
got one. We have a very handsome guy with us today, named Kyle, and he has a company.
Let me do it. Let me do it.
You do it.
Oh, it's so good. So Kyle Ranieri runs Real Estate Content AI, and Real Estate Content AI, it simplifies you posting really great content on social media as a calendar. It can auto post, create blogs, and now it can also add other features, which Kyle's probably going to show you, but throw out your listing, throw out local content information about your market. It simplifies your world so you don't have to be clicking the button or creating that content. And on top of that, this is a side note. Kyle is also a race car driver, or was a race car driver, professional race car driver.
Wow.
And he's got some good stories on that. Maybe he'll tell it to us. I don't know. But Kyle, thanks for jumping in, buddy.
Thank you guys so much. It's great to be back here with y'all. I think we did one of these maybe about a year ago. You guys always put on a great show, and I can already see in the chat everybody saying information overload. So I'm gonna pile right onto that.
Perfect. And this one's a lot, so go.
Oh, for sure. And we got 30 minutes, 25 minutes.
Let's see. It's 12:09. I'll tell you what you got. You got 12:35. So
12:35. We can fit a lot.
Yeah, we got a lot, buddy.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna get right into it. Because usually, I'll tell you how this usually goes. And by the way, if there's anybody in here who's been in,
wait, Kyle, does this work in Canada?
Of course.
Okay, it works in Canada.
That's the joke. Like nothing seems to work in Canada.
It works. So Canada. Wait, where are you located?
I'm in St. Louis, Missouri. The team's in Toronto.
Oh, so it's in Canada.
Your whole team is in Canada.
There you go. Yeah, Mark, my co-founder, is Canadian. He's on Dragon's Den in Canada. So.
You're in Missouri?
I'm in Missouri. I'm driving race cars in Missouri, Nick.
Nice.
Right on, y'all. Okay, guys, I've got a couple slides that we're going to go through. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll break this up into kind of two parts here. Number one, I want to pack in some information about social media, because in order for us to make social media easy, we got to know how to do it the right way. Now, I'm going to open this up by saying you do not have to like social media to be good at it. You do not have to sing and dance on TikTok. You do not have to stress out about the algorithm. Shoot, you don't even need to record yourself anymore. There are so many ways to be successful on social media, and I want to make sure that you guys have the framework to be able to do that yourselves. After I teach this to you, I'm going to cram that into like 5 minutes, right? This is usually like a 30-minute session, but don't worry, I've got some links for some notes for everybody who misses it. After we learn how to do that, we're going to jump into AI. We're going to have AI do it all for us. And Tristan, it's going to be new for you too. We've been running a case study for the last 4 months, and you guys are the very first people to see the results of it.
Wow.
And I think you guys are going to really, really like it. Okay. Now let's get in really, really fast here. I'm going to share my screen, see what we got going on here.
You know, besides Canada being a challenge, sharing screens has been a challenge today.
Yeah. Well, how's that? Can you see that okay?
Apparently you can't share your screen in Canada.
There you go.
You can see it. Wonderful. Yeah, apparently you can share your screens in Canada. Awesome. Okay. Now, I tell you what, because we all just met for the very first time, I need some help. And Tristan, Nick, you guys will have to help me out because I can't see the chat. Because I got to ask everybody a question very, very quickly. That question is, I need to know how good you are at your business social media. Nobody cheat, not your personal pages. I want to know how good you are at your business social media. And give me a score from 0 being the worst, 10 being the best. I want you to put your answer in the chat.
I'm going to put a 2. I suck. 2.
No, don't even say that, Tristan. If Tristan's a 2, all of us are like, what, negative?
Business. Yeah, and by the way, you are frozen with your hand up like this.
Oh,
But
good.
we can hear him really well.
But we can hear you perfectly, and more importantly, we can see your slides. So don't worry about being frozen.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You know,
Most people, Kyle, most people are, I would say, under 5. So we're looking at a lot of 2s, a lot of 4s, some very, very few above that. So that's good.
Okay. Hey, that's a good place to start. And especially if you guys are at a 0, if you're like, hey, social media isn't my thing, you're in a very good place to be on this call here today. Now,
Perfect.
The reason I asked that, by the way, is we've all just met for the very first time. So I don't know if this is a call that you've assembled, Tristan, with a bunch of social media superstars that all have 30 million followers. So it's good to know.
I'm the only one.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
Nick's the only one, Nick.
That's right. That's right. Well, good. Well, I tell you what, I usually say, hey, let's start at the basics. Now, the basics of doing social media is to always ask yourself why. Why is it important? Why should I be on this call for 30 minutes listening to Kyle talk about it? But the easiest way to explain that is by saying that social media is important. It might not be important to you, but it's important to the people that are our clients. Now, I have numbers, I have statistics to tell you why that is so important, but just know that it is important for people of all different age ranges. Now, here's why I want to start right here. Because Tristan and I see this all the time. I know a lot of people that go from saying, hey, I know that social media is important, and they jump from knowing I need to do it to, okay, what do I need to post? Okay, do I do a video? Do I do a picture? Do I post personal? Do I post professional? And you invest time or you invest money in social media, and then you don't get any leads or you don't get a return. And that can be really taxing, not just on your time, but kind of on your mental health as well. You see other people be successful at social media and you see it working for them, and you start to doubt if it can work for you. And I want to take a second to explain why. It's because there is a crucial middle step that we have to take in between knowing what to do on social media and knowing why we should do it. And that is how people are using it. Now, remember, the entire reason why we are covering this is so that we can implement this into some cool AI tools and have it make our lives easier. But remember, we got to know how to do it the right way before we can do it the easy way. This graph right here is super important. In fact, if anybody is following along, I want you to take a picture of this with your phone so you can have this in your notes. This right here illustrates a lead's journey, how they go from having no idea that you exist to being your next commission check. And most importantly, it tells us the exact point in time in which social media becomes a factor. Social media is a factor in people's decision-making process because it has become the proven path of least resistance. Everything in your business starts with exposure, whether that's a paid lead or word of mouth or a mailer or a business card. Everything starts with exposure. This is how people find out about you. But just like anything that we buy, whether it's a product or a service, people have doubt. They must do their due diligence. They need to validate. They need to validate if what they've heard or seen about you is true or not. And what is the easiest way for somebody to find that information about you? Something that's been in their pockets, right, Tristan?
Yeah, Google it or ChatGPT it on your phone.
100%, right? The content that you have in your pocket at your disposal to access the internet and to find apps that can tell you everything you've ever wanted to know about somebody in their business. That is always the path of least resistance. And what happens to us is now we have all of this exposure, we have all of this opportunity, and now it is funneling through this validation check. And when somebody gets to that social media profile, because maybe they're part of the 36.9 million baby boomers that said they were using social media for more than 2 hours a day every day last year. Maybe they get to Facebook. And guess what? I'll tell you what, I get this question all the time. All the time. Should I post personal or on my business page? I'm going to give you this situation right here. Somebody has heard about you, right? I heard, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Realtor is absolutely fantastic. Here's their phone number. Well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm the kind of person that likes to use Facebook. I want to find out everything about you. I'll tell you what, I want to do some cyber stalking. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to follow the path of least resistance. What's the easiest way for me to find that out about you? Well, I tell you what, if I go to your Facebook personal page, What do I have to do to see all your information, all your pictures, all your posts? You gotta send your friend request. Tristan, I know I'm guilty of this.
Unless everything's public. Then
Tristan, I know I'm guilty of this, and Nick as well. Have you guys ever done some cyber stalking?
never.
Oh, dude, all the time.
Never. I'm
on
sure
Nick's,
you're not guilty of that.
I did it on Nick's squirrel page this morning. I was like,
Yeah,
what is
Kyle,
it?
got a pet. I got a squirrel living in my garage, and he's super cute and friendly. And his name is
And he
Bandit.
made an Instagram page
And we
for
made
it.
an Instagram for him because
Well,
he
I tell you
loved
what, that is my next follow. Absolutely, I need to see some of that content.
Bandit the squirrel on Instagram. Go follow. He's only like 2 months old.
We need to plug Bandit the Squirrel in here. I've got some tips for Bandit the Squirrel on Instagram coming up. You guys are good deep. But I tell you what, one of the things, the reason I asked this question is, what is the most awkward thing that can happen when you're looking up an old friend on social media and you don't want them to know about it? You accidentally like one of their photos, right?
Dude,
Oh.
that's
Oh,
happened.
dude, because you can't
happened.
unlike it because the
Yeah.
notification never goes away.
That has happened.
100%, right?
The
So
worst.
part of the reason why people love social media so much and why it is the easiest way for them to validate you is the anonymity of it. It's the idea that I can see everything about you, and more specifically your business, and you have no idea I was ever there. So the path of least resistance, it tends to lead people to your business page, not only because your business pages are public and don't require any kind of friend request to view 100% of the content, but mostly because your business page represents the very thing that they are shopping for. They are shopping for a service that you provide, and your business page represents that. And the issue that this creates is when somebody gets to that business page and they just heard that you are the best agent ever, that you're the right one for them, and they get there and we're a 3 out of 10. Now, Tristan knows this about me, and Nick's been giving me some stuff about being from Missouri, but I'll tell you a couple things about Missouri right now. I grew up in the state of Missouri. Missouri is known for a lot of great things. Education is not one of them. And I got a lot of 3 out of 10s in tests growing up. And the last time I checked, that's still an F. But think about that. All jokes aside, right? That's a problem. It's a problem when somebody's path of least resistance, the way that they seek to get a first impression of you, is no longer a phone call. It's no longer a text message. It's something that we are failing to capitalize on. And that's the whole reason why I preach social media. It's the whole reason why I go on all these events and talk about it in front of all these people, is because I've seen the impact that it can have when you treat it this way. When you treat social media as a passage for a validation check, it changes everything. It changes what you post, what you talk about. It even changes what it looks like. And I tell you what, we got 15 minutes left here on the clock. So here's what I'm going to do. I have an exact formula for how to do this. It involves these 3 elements right here: being responsive, being credible, and being professional. But I'm going to glance over this super quickly because we're going to plug this into AI. So to save us a little bit of time, I'm going to give you guys this link right here. If you scan this QR code, all it's going to do is it's going to send you an email with all these notes right here, because we're not going to have enough time to cover all of them before our awesome next guest, right? So I'm going to leave that up on the screen here for a second, but I'm going to talk about that for just a moment. When somebody gets to that social media page, it's all about the feeling that you create. How do you manufacture a feeling? How do you make them trust you? How do you make them believe in you? Because if you can do that, if you can manufacture that feeling, what that's going to do is it's going to give them a higher chance of doing the thing we want them to do. Actually calling us, texting us, sending us an email, shoot, send me a direct message. That's what social media is all about. It's about that conversion rate. And the key way to do it is by posting frequently, posting educational content, and making sure it looks good. Now, Tristan, you guys will be the first one to tell me that that's easier said than done, right? Oops, did you guys lose me?
Yeah, no, I see you, buddy. Yeah, you're right. I was muted.
Oh, my fault.
You're good. What was the question?
I said, posting frequently every day, posting content that's educational and making sure it looks good sounds really easy, but you guys be the first one to tell me it's easier said than done.
No, dude, it's not easy. It's super.
not easy.
It's super.
The
tedious.
hardest part is doing it.
100%. 100%. Well, thank you, Nick, for the perfect segue. So we're
Oh yeah, my pleasure.
This is where we're going to talk about AI. Now, I specifically made sure that you guys had a good understanding of social media before we started talking about AI, because what you have learned about social media so far can be applied in many different ways. You can do it yourself, you can hire somebody, but I think, and I think a lot of other people believe, that the best way to do social media is with AI. And I'm going to show you why. It's because we've got 15 minutes left right here. And here's what I'm going to do. With AI, I'm going to create an entire month of social media in these 15 minutes. And if I don't do it in that 15 minutes, and if you don't think it looks good, your pizza's free. How about that? 15 minutes.
I love pizza.
Yeah,
15 minutes or less. Okay. Now, as I'm going through this, I'm going to go pretty quickly. So you guys might not be able to see exactly what I'm doing, but I'm going to kind of talk through everything here. Well,
Kyle,
first,
before you go really quick, before you start, I don't want to interrupt you when you start. Is there a link you can throw in? Because they're saying that the QR code or something that they can take a look at this while you're talking, because
sure thing.
everyone should have this.
I don't think it was up long enough.
Let me, if you guys
I'm going to scan it right now. I'm scanning it to
it works.
It works?
Yeah.
Perfect. And I'll put up the link in the chat then. Oh, there it is. Perfect.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you guys.
All right, here we go. You're ready.
All right.
Go.
Party time. So first of all, first and foremost, this is the software that we built for the exact purpose. What this does is it leverages AI to completely automate your social media strategy. It makes the posts, it schedules them, it posts them automatically, but most of all, it accomplishes my rules. It makes you look responsible, credible, and professional, and the content that it creates is as good, if not better, than if you did it yourself. And I'm going to let you guys be the judge of that because we're about to take a look at it. Now, first of all, I already have my month done. When you log into this platform, and I'll make sure everybody gets links to it, this right here, it says May 2026. And if I were to scroll down, I would see all these little individual boxes. Each of these boxes corresponds to a social media post. For example, the pink boxes are Instagram, the blue boxes are Facebook, the teal boxes are LinkedIn. And if I were to click any of those boxes, I could see what that post is, I could see where it's going, and the day that it's going to publish automatically. And the way it does that is because behind the scenes of this calendar, it's actually connected to all of my accounts. It's connected to Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, and TikTok, so that I don't have to worry about it. It can make posts for all of those and post them automatically. Now that's great. And you can probably already tell I've got a May month right here that's already got a ton of content, and I don't really have to worry about it. It's going to be set up. It's going to be publishing automatically, and I'm done. I'm hands off until the next month. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to take this month of May right here. I'm going to delete the entire thing. And by now we've got 10 minutes to make that back. 10 minutes, Tristan. I want to put 10 minutes hard on the clock. I don't want
timing it, buddy. You better. I need a pizza.
I know. Pizza's free if I don't do 10 minutes or less. Well, I tell you what, here's what we're
I'm sending you a link. I need the pizza.
Oh, great. The next speaker, you're going to see this pizza come into the background. All right, y'all. Well, hey, first of all, first thing that we got to do, we got to have AI tell us what we're going to talk about, right? It's one of the most time-consuming parts of social media is figuring out the right thing to say. Well, what you're going to notice is when I'm in this calendar, if I click on this search bar right here, it's going to come up with ideas for what I can talk about. And the way that it does that is by researching social media. For example, AI already knows about me. It knows I'm in Dallas, Texas, and it knows that I work with first-time homebuyers, upsizers, downsizers, and investors. So it's already curated topics that are specific to me and my location. And yes, it works in Canada. The next thing AI needs to know is where those posts are going. In fact, how many days we're going to talk about it. Now, here's a big tip that I have for social media management. I like to break my month up into themes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that my theme for all my Mondays is going to be about this topic that's talking about first-time home buyers. Now, AI is smart. It's going to make sure that all of those posts are different. The next thing I'm going to tell AI to do is where those need to go. I already have Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, and TikTok connected. So I'm going to do Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn just to get started. Hit go. And now AI does the rest of the work for me. Okay. Right now, in this calendar, AI is building all these posts from scratch. Now, I know you guys have already had a lot of speakers before this. I'm sure you've been talking about
it. That's way faster than it was just like a month ago.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's ripping. But I tell you why. I'll
Why?
tell you. I'll tell you why, everybody. And I'm gonna get really nerdy with you here real quick. So if you guys can bear with me from my nerdness, I'm gonna geek out for a little bit.
All right, I'm down. Nerdness, go.
You love
Nerdness,
nerds.
You're still on
Behind the-
timer, buddy. You're still on a timer.
Oh, I got plenty of time. Behind the scenes of this calendar are all of the LLMs. Now, here's what that means. When I clicked that button to create all those social media posts, all of the different AI models, they actually started working together. Behind the scenes of this calendar is ChatGPT, Grok, Perplexity, Gemini, N8N, Nano Banana, Claude, and more. They're all back here, and it's all the highest tier paid version of each of them. And I don't have to have a subscription to any of them. So here's what that means. When I clicked that button, they all started doing what they were good at. For example, ChatGPT started writing my captions, and then Perplexity, which is really good at deep research, it went out and it made sure everything was up to date and hyper local. Well, while those two were working together, N8N and Nano Banana, what are they really good at? They're really good at editing. So they went into something like Photoshop or Canva, and they started building me a social media post from scratch. And then Claude, which is really good at connecting everything, they made sure all of those elements got together at the perfect day and the perfect time, so that what I receive is a social media post that could never be made by ChatGPT. There is no world where ChatGPT can do what you're seeing on your screen right now. It's impossible.
Keep showing me all of them. I want to see all of this stuff.
100%. So all of them, what you'll notice,
Oh,
all the caption right here in the middle, it's written the exact proper length for Instagram. That was my Instagram post. I can see it's completely different from the next one, which is completely different from the following. All of these posts right here, I had set to carousels. They use my real life headshots and my real life logos. But take a look at this. If anybody in here has used Canva before, watch what happens when I highlight this picture. Every single element of this post right here is dynamic. It is an individual element that AI carefully selected and edited inside of this post, complete with photos that are relevant to my location. What this means is that when this goes to social media thinks it's real, because it is. By all measurable standpoints, this is the exact same thing as if you posted something on Canva. It does not get flagged as AI.
Oh, that's sweet.
Pretty cool, huh? And then if you're a Canva nerd like I am, you have complete control. You can edit, you can make different designs, you can even sync your Canva to it so that you don't have to worry about making your stuff over again. And AI learns smarter every time it does that. Now, we got 6 minutes left, and I don't want to buy Tristan a pizza today. I'll buy him one another time. But I tell you what, one of the most important parts of social media, and everybody in here is going to tell you this, is video, right? Video. Well, here's what I want AI to do for me. I just made some awesome pictures. I'm happy with all those turned out, but I want to get some video on my social media. Well, how is AI going to make me social media content that are videos for my profiles if I'm not in the video? How is that going to make any sense? Well, right now, just in the background while I was talking, I repeated the same process. I chose a different topic, I hit go, and now it's making me my videos. But I mentioned earlier that I've been working on a project that I haven't told anybody about. Tristan doesn't even know about it, and that's rare. Tristan knows everything. He's omnipotent. But
thank you.
I want to talk about that project right now while these are loading. Me and my team, we've been doing this for about 3 years, and we're always trying to push the boundaries when it comes to AI. And we set out about 4 months ago to see if we could solve a problem. How do we, is it possible even to scale a social media account just using AI content? Is that possible? That's what we wanted to figure out. Can you all see my screen now? Can you
I
see
do.
this?
I see Bark Back Daily.
There you go. Guys, this is an Instagram profile. In fact, this is an Instagram profile that I own. Bark Back Daily is a science experiment that started 4 months ago. That we set out to create an account where we only experimented with AI-generated content. And in 4 months, we went from 0 followers to today where we have 401,000.
Wait, so it's just AI dogs?
Everything.
This gives me hope for my real...
That's what he was talking about with Bandit.
This gives me hope for my Instagram account with my real squirrel.
That's what I was telling you, man. I told you I got something for you. It's not a pizza, though, because I'm still on time. Well, this is great and all, but you know, we all can't be posting about dogs all the time.
No.
But here's what happened here. What this proved to us is that it was possible. From a technology standpoint, you could, in fact, scale and grow a social media account just using AI content, and we proved that right here. So how did we take this and make it a little bit closer to real estate?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to introduce you to my friend Maya. Maya,
AI, isn't she?
Maya's not real. You guessed it. Maya is a completely fictional character. Maya is talking about
tell though.
Well, you know what you can't tell?
Well, that's the point, though.
You can't, because I'll tell you why, Nick. She has 22,000 followers in 60 days, and she's got DMs in her account every day of people who are trying to take her to dinner. So I'm going to disagree with that.
So, a lot of people can't tell, but Tristan and I can tell because we work with AI every single day. You can tell.
I love this, man.
There you go. So here's
Kyle. I'm going to reach out to you because I need to make one. Now I need to make an AI character for Y Realty.
Yeah.
I thought you had the bulldog.
We do. We have a little Frenchie, but
for someone who hates dogs, you certainly love to put dogs.
Hey, I got 2 dogs. Relax.
You don't like dogs, though.
I don't know where they are.
Yeah, because you don't
somewhere around here.
But you don't like your dogs, though.
They poop everywhere, dude. Okay?
Maybe you should teach them not to poop in the house.
You're just delaying this because you want me to get a free pizza.
That's right. That's right. It's helping you out.
Well, that would be a favor for you then. Is this your account too, Kyle?
Yes, it is. So what happened is after we started the dog account, we said, okay, how can we take the technology that we built and try to get it closer to what we could do with real estate? So we always preach responsive, credible, and professional. We know it because we've been doing it for years and we've seen it work with thousands of agents. To do that, you have to be talking about educational content. And we wanted to be able to do that in real estate with actual people to make that connection. You can't just post dog videos. And that's exactly what we did with Maya. Maya is posting educational content as a human narrator, and in 60 days has generated 22,100 followers.
Jeez.
Maya,
wow.
Pet,
how often are you posting?
Help tips. Maya, is it Maya Pet?
Maya Pet help tips.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna Instagram her.
Yeah.
Hopefully she accepts my request to follow her.
There you go. So this is actually a huge breakthrough, y'all. Like this is huge. This shows us that this is in fact possible. But now we're right there. We know that this is possible. We know that you can scale a social media account and you don't have to be on camera to do it because AI replicates it so well. So how can we take this full circle and introduce it into real estate? I want to introduce you to my friend, AI Kyle.
Cool. Oh, wow.
Dude, look at that. Looks smooth. That's smooth, buddy.
Hey, that looks good, dude.
That avatar was created with just one headshot. That's it.
It doesn't look like crap, Kyle.
Thank you.
A lot of these don't look good, and a lot of them you're not moving around. You're just standing there like super stiff, and the only thing moving is your mouth.
100%. I totally agree.
Can you play that so we can hear it?
What's that? Yeah, I played it one more time.
We can't hear it though.
You hear it?
That's okay. You know what? Did you launch that already on a different Instagram?
Yeah, it's been up for a month now.
Okay, where? So we can all go watch that.
Oh, sorry. It's been up on the platform, but if you go to realestatecontent.ai's Instagram, you'll see all the other people that are posting with their avatars as well.
Sweet.
Perfect. I just posted in the chat Maya Pet help tips.
Hey, post Bandit the squirrel in there too.
Bandit
_ squirrel.
Bandit. I think I was looking up Bandit earlier. Bandit.
You followed it earlier.
_ squirrel. There it is. Got you.
Real estate.
You know what I would do, Nick? I would get together with Kyle and see if they can take Bandit the squirrel's likeness and start blowing it up even more.
Oh, 100%. Bandit the squirrel is going to be a household name by the time we're done with them.
And then the government's going to come.
Whoa, hold on a second. People have to hear how this sounds. This AI.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, oh,
Here.
share. Well, hold on. I'm gonna stop sharing your
Here.
screen
Here,
really
listen.
quick.
AI tool
Kyle?
is designed to help you share interesting local news and community stories, stay consistent online, and establish yourself as a trusted local thought leader.
That
Without-
sounds really good. The voice sounds really
Is that
good.
was that for Maya? Is that what her name was?
I don't know. It was the AI Kyle feature.
Yeah, it was one of our customers.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me
I
restate
Maya.
that. The only thing you need for AI to do that is a headshot.
Do you
That's
need
it.
to talk? You need
That's
to,
it, dude. Why'd you keep me in the dark?
You've been busy, man.
Hold on.
Oh my
Question.
God. Is that why
Do
you
you-
called me last time and I didn't pick up?
Yep.
Because I was on another call. That was
Do you have to say anything? You have to speak into anything?
We have a script. It takes 30 seconds to read. It does it karaoke style on your screen. You read it once, perfectly replicates it.
Holy shit! I'm doing
know
it.
what?
I'm going to do it today.
What time is it? Because I think Kelly's right. I get a free pizza.
Well, you know what? Nick bought us a mulligan. We got a 5 extra minute penalty on the field. So
No, we didn't. That wasn't part of the contract.
totally did. Totally did. Well, I tell you what here, because I know you guys got some awesome presenters coming up, and I don't want to take over anybody's time here. But here's what
I
we're
have
gonna
an
do.
account. Is it active in my account?
It should be. Yeah, it's
All
active on everybody's account. So one thing, can you see the calendar again here?
Can I give people a tip?
Yeah, sure.
Because it takes a headshot, right? What I would do is, and Tristan, you probably agree with this too, like, because you wear black t-shirts all the time. So like wear a solid color t-shirt
Yeah.
as opposed to like a suit or a dress or a blouse. Wear
Good
something
tip.
solid color so it doesn't look like you're in the same clothes like every single time.
That's right. And one of the nice things too is you can upload as many headshots as you want with different clothing, and it'll allow you to switch between different looks.
Oh,
So you're
that's
not always
sick.
wearing-
Okay, then forget I said anything.
Yeah, we built this from scratch. Tony
Listen.
Stark built this in a cave with a box of scratch.
Dude, you're gonna have to lead with that next time. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's
funny.
very funny.
There you go. Well, hey, guess what? My month is done. While we were talking, I made sure I put in my Fridays. So I'm all the way right back. And you know what else I did? I even added some blogs. Just as a
Well,
bonus.
geez. Stop showing off, dude. We can't handle it.
That's all it takes, genuinely. And I'm so shocked to see people who get in here and they are not techie. They don't know anything about social media. They don't know anything about AI. And they're in and out and done in 20 minutes. And people are wondering who they hired to do it.
You know
It's
what?
awesome.
I'm gonna run an experiment, Kyle. Let me just think about what it's going to be. I'm probably gonna run 2. I want to start brand new Instagrams, and I want to come back in like 2-3 months through the summer, and I want to showcase it. I want to really pay attention to this one. I've got a couple of questions for you, a whole bunch, by the way. Where do people go to sign up while I bring up the questions?
Perfect. Well, I have, Tristan and I, we've been working together for 3 years now, 2.5
Yep.
years, long
Mhm.
time. So, I always, take care of everybody that I meet through Tristan, and you guys are an awesome organization. I'm always happy to work with LabCo.
We
So
love you, dude.
you guys are great. So here's the deal. The name of the company is the same name as the website. That's why I have great SEO. Real Estate Content AI. If you go to the website right now, you're going to see it cost this much. It's going to cost $1,188 per year. But I am having a sale right now. There's a sale going on that makes it about 32% off, takes it down to $899 a year. This is not a month. This is a year. So it's about $78 a month. But here's what you guys get for being on the webinar here today. Because you guys, this is a long webinar. You guys stuck it out and you came to see me. So here's what we're going to do. For 24 hours, because I can't let it go more than this or else I'll go broke. It's 50% off for life. It's $48.
Oh, dude, I've never seen that price actually.
There you go. $5.99.
Holy crap.
$5.99 a year. It's $48 a month. And you get it by scanning that QR code. And that will apply your discount. And you get everything. There's no upsells. There's no hidden fees. There's no contracts. You can leave whenever you want. We set it all up for you. We have live 24/7 customer support. Yep.
Is this the discounted one where it doesn't work in Canada?
No, this also works in Canada.
Oh, damn it. Okay. It's making sure, buddy, because
Yes.
wasn't sure about that one.
Absolutely. Also works in Canada, works in all.
How
50
fast
states.
is the setup on this? And then we'll let you go.
To go from clicking that or scanning that QR code to posting your first piece of content, you could do it in 15 minutes. I've seen it done faster.
Okay, 15 minutes is not bad.
Yeah, I've seen it done faster than that. Now, I'll tell you what, you guys do not have to set this up on your own. In fact, I encourage that you don't, because when you scan this QR code right here, you get my full team to set everything up for you. And we do that completely free. We do it multiple times. We'll even help train your admins or assistants if they want to use this. And the last thing I'm going to end on, Tristan, is I'm going to give everybody a money back guarantee. It is not my goal to take your money. I want you to use it and I want you to love it. So I'm going to extend this money back guarantee from 14 days to 30 days. I want everybody to get in here. I want you to post content with your AI avatars. I want you to see it. I want you to love it for a month. And if for whatever reason, after that month, you don't like it, you get 100% of your money back. No questions asked. And I stand by that.
Have you tried going to QVC?
QVC, I'm not familiar.
It's like the Home Shopping Network.
Like the Home Shopping Network.
He's not going to take your money and jump into a race car and speed away.
No. I have plenty of that. Well, hey, I put that link for the QR right there in the chat. I don't know if that link's going to be clickable, but if you want to share that too, I'd appreciate it.
I love it. Let me grab that one. Kyle, text it to me and I'll put it on as soon as you're out or whenever I get it.
Yeah, I can do that.
Let me grab it from there.
No worries, guys. Well, hey, I think you guys have some awesome speakers left for the rest of the day, so I really appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you. Make sure to order a pizza for me. I'll text you my address shortly. Hopefully it's here before we end this whole thing.
No, I'm gonna make sure that pizza shows up right in the background. I'm gonna put instructions on Uber Eats. I'm like, you're gonna find him in a room. There's a bunch of Marvel stuff in the background. He wants you to walk right in.
He's doing it in a cave. That's where you'll find him.
Tony Stark built this in a cave. All right, Tristan, I got this link. I got this link coming your way. I'm not going to take up any more of y'all's time because you got a great event already. And Nick,
thanks so much, buddy. Appreciate you, Kyle. Awesome. Real Estate Content AI. Everyone go and have some fun on there. That's an incredible price. We've been working with him for 3 years. We've never seen that price. So great job, man. I love this.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks, buddy. Great job. Woo! That was like breathing fire. And now we've got more fire with Casey from Playster. What's up?
How's it going?
Oh, that's very echoey.
It sounds echoey, buddy.
Too echoey. Is this any better?
Sounds like you're in a tunnel.
It sounds like you're in a cave with Tony Stark.
Again.
Casey.
I'm in a classroom.
Yeah.
Is it still bad?
Yeah, there's no nothing absorbing the sound, I think.
All right, let's try. Any better with this?
No, worse.
Worse. All right, we're gonna go to.
I love it.
I wish I was in the cave. The rocks.
I wish too.
He's actually in the cave. He's actually in the cave with Tony Stark right now.
Something's happening. What are you building out there, Casey?
It's top secret. It doesn't involve dogs or pizza, but I wish it did.
I mean, what are we gonna do? I mean, it is what it is. No big deal.
Is this any better?
Slightly.
Slightly. He's right. All right, everybody. We've got Casey, Playster. Nick's got a good intro. And everybody knows Playster. But Nick, what you got?
Most real estate agents are building their online presence on platforms they do not own, but so you should learn how to build a professional real estate website that puts you in full control of your brand, your leads, and your business.
Yeah. I agree.
I mean, do you need a better intro than that? No, everybody knows Playster. You guys have been around for so long, had a massive deal with NAR. Now you're back with building a website that has SEO, AEO. So we're found in the new world. In less than 3 minutes, I can build a full-on website in less than 3 minutes with IDX. Tell me all about this.
All of it. Yeah, let me pull this up here. I want to get into it.
I knew you were building something in there.
In this big cave of mine. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So to start, I want to go into the kind of favorite, like what's going on out there right now. I think more and more, we talked about this a little bit last week. Things are so scattered, right? Agents do everything and it's like never one consistent. I sat down, I had a plan for step 1 through 10. And so that means that like the online presence feels like that. People go to platforms, they put a bio on Zillow, they like create a business, profile on Meta, and like their website becomes an afterthought, right? It's a step 4 or 5 kind of thing. We all know now, right? This kind of big bullet down here, the technology, right? The big scary technology, it hates that. It hates when things are inconsistent. It hates when one bio says you've got 4 years of experience, your other says you've got 10, right? Things just don't line up. And that experience extends, yes, to people searching and the technology wanting to find you, but also to then your consumers, your sphere when they're looking you up. And I think that's the big thing people forget too. So we keep saying this every time we meet, Tristan, like it's 2026 and we're still talking about websites, right? Like, dude, this is a thing that
they're more relevant now than they ever were. We thought SEO was important. Well, now, man, it's like, you want to be found? It's time to start creating content that AI can grab and then give to the people searching.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking for a new job 2 years ago because I thought the space was dead and I should go do something else instead.
Dude, opposite.
Here we are. Here we are. So the first thing to say too is this is a two-way street, right? The idea that the content you're putting out there, yes, it's the stuff that AEO and SEO go to grab, but it's also then the place that people go to find you, right? So there's this kind of thing happening where, and we're going to talk about the two-way streetness, like what stuff stays on your site and gets kind of pushed out, and then what stuff from outside comes back to your site. But I just want to remind people that there's not this kind of like, oh, I do it in one place and not somewhere else, because guess what? If somebody gets your name, they get you as a referral, they're going to Google you, right? They're going to look you up, and you've got to have information that's going to be relevant for them to find. If you're creating social posts, well, most of those posts are going to link back to somewhere on your site or to a listing that you have hosted on your site. And so it really is going to be a two-way street. All right. I'm going to go through what I think are the 4 most important things to do on your site that are going to go live elsewhere. And then the 4 most important things that live outside your site that get pushed into your site that you should host.
Okay, hold on. Before you do that, I want to make I'm going to search something really quick before you share yours, because I need people to really understand this, because it bridges together the last person we had on and you and Playster. So it just creates a lot of clarity here. Let me grab it. So what I want all of you to pay attention to, this is why we saved Kyle and Casey to the end here. The most visited websites in the world, I want you to take a look at this. You've got Google, which Playster is covering, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, ChatGPT, which Playster covers, X. Yeah. Now, between those last 2, you're taken care of with everything here. Because the thing that we forget is that we're always talking about go to where people are gravitating to. This is it. Why are we trying to go somewhere else?
Yeah.
Right. You're covering Google, which is the #1. It's going to stay #1 because Gemini is just on a rampage. Right. So Google is #1. You're helping me there. And then you're helping me with ChatGPT because we're finding a younger audience going directly to AI to just ask questions like Google.
Yeah, I was actually out at a broker's office this morning with new agent training, and I broke the group up and I said, talk to me about the last 5 things you searched and where did you search? And you could see a shift in the room and demographically, like there's a group of people that said the last 5 things they searched, 4 out of 5 of them were on GPT or Gemini. And then there was a different group that said, well, I went to Google, and I said, what do the Google results look like? And somebody said, oh, there was like a new description at the top, right? And I was like, oh yeah, you got the Gemini response. And I just, go look in these places, like think about how you search for your own answers outside of real estate and apply that same logic as if you were a buyer and seller. Pretend to be a mock buyer and seller, right? Pretend to be a renter in one of these markets. If you had to be that person, what the hell would you go type into the computer and where? And that's the reverse engineering that I kind of push people to do. And that's got to be kind of like at the forefront of their mind around where people are going. And am I optimizing my content creation to be in those places as well? Okay, so let's go back to these 4 here. So these might seem like, oh yeah, no shit, but like people just don't do it. It just happens all the time. The first one is like a bio on your site. I love this woman, Amy. She's been a client of ours forever. She's got this great structure on her site around some background information about her, what she does when it comes to marketing that's different than her competitors. And then she kind of has this actual structured breakdown that she uses. And this is her master copy, right? If I go over here to her homes.com profile, it's all the same information on her homes.com profile. It's the same on Zillow. It's everywhere. And that consistency, like we keep talking about, it really matters. So use as your master copy on your Placer site to have a bio, copy and paste that everywhere else. Because remember, Tristan, we did the exercise last week. We looked you up, and what did it have? It had all your profiles. There's 4 different profiles it referenced, right? It's going to look for those sources. Visual branding, right? This is one that people, they love to talk about their brand and what their brand looks like. But you got to remember, like, your brand doesn't get to exist on Zillow or homes.com, right? You might have all your listings there, but you don't get to have your purple logo plastered everywhere because it's a portal site, right? Even on Instagram, your post can look a certain way, but those posts aren't going to then be totally translated across everything you do on the platform. And so your site's that kind of starting point. This Drew team here, I love what they've done. Purple's actually one of my favorite colors because it's my kids' favorite color. So we have a lot of purple stuff in our house. But you can just see everywhere they've done it. And if you go to their social profiles, you're going to see that same kind of consistency pop up. And so making sure that you define it here, right? Define it first on your website where you have the most control. Your newsletters follow, your posts follow, any kind of offline marketing you're going to do is going to follow. But this is kind of your repository of where these assets can live. We've even seen some brokers put up their own brand kits for agents to follow, like they host it on their site, right? And then it's kind of like you walk the walk for all of your agents to follow. That's another nice path for like a team or a broker to take to kind of show people how it can be done in real life. Target markets, everybody kind of wants to cover everything. But in reality, right, we've all got like specifics that we actually cover. I worked with this guy as we were building his site. He does all of these villages in this particular part of Florida. And again, you can go look at his profiles elsewhere on Zillow and see what he covers, but his site's going to be the only place where he can get into kind of the nitty gritty. And so a lot of these communities, they're not even in the MLS, right? So somebody can't just go and search for some of these communities in Florida that are being built. And so he's using his site to show people, sure, I cover a certain section of Florida, but more specifically, I know about a part of the market that you can't just go and Google and get your normal portal search result for because they're not there yet. It's not in the MLS. And so having your site back you up and remind people that this is where you specialize in, again, it's the kind of core place that you can carve out that, of course, we're going to use listings. You want to have every listing of your own here or target areas that are already in the MLS, but even the stuff that's not, right? If you're farm and ranch, if you're commercial on the side, your site can kind of be this aggregate of all of that. Okay. Fourth one is unique expertise. Everybody's kind of got their own carve out. This guy Shapiro worked with him as well. This new construction, that's his focus. He's got his CPA back. Like you've got these specialties that people come with. And I remind people all the time, like all the listings exist in the MLS for everybody to see, right? There's nothing dramatically different about the product you're selling in the sense that Tristan, you can get the MLS feed. Nick, you can get it. Every agent can kind of get it if they're a member. So then the listings aren't very unique. It's why would I work with you over another agent? And so then telling that story, definitively telling that story through your bio, but then shaping out your specialty, right? What actually makes you unique? What are things that you can help with? Those are the kind of paramount things that can set you apart from your replica neighbor who sits maybe even in the same office as you do, in the same MLS as you do. I love when I see people leaning into this and kind of scrubbing away that generic, I love to talk to people, right? I'm very friendly. I'm a people person.
Yeah.
Like, no shit, everybody is, right? You wouldn't be in the industry if you're not.
Of course.
So then find the angle that makes you actually different than everybody else out there.
And stick with it and make sure that it shows everywhere. That differentiating factor is the key to you blowing up, not only in your blogs, but also on your social content.
It's totally true. I mean, you guys are both personalities, right? You have defined
Well,
personalities.
Nick's more of a personality than I am.
I mean, true.
It's a reversal thing, you know. It's
good question. Steven's asking. Steven, great questions today, man. What's the benefit of a Playster site versus the IDX site I have with Lofty as a CRM? What's the difference?
Lofty's a great competitor. So two big things I'd point to. Number one is the way in which you want to be hands-on. Playster does a phenomenal job of taking the guesswork out of how to get started, because we built this AI site creator that in, like you said, 2 to 3 minutes, we're putting together like actually bespoke, unique sites for every single agent. We're pulling in covered areas, we're pulling in testimonials, social feeds, right? So you're getting over the inertia of getting started. And then it's like, do you want to be working on this thing moving forward? One of our benefits compared to a Lofty, compared to even like a Luxury Presence or one of these more traditional, I've got to work with them, or I've got to like go in and kind of know my way around a backend. You can just talk to our backend like it's ChatGPT, right? Like it's Claude. And so our conversational AI editor means that once the first thing is built and you want to go build a new area page, you're not like, okay, where do I go to add the area, or like, what visual should I use? You're going to the chatbot and you're saying, hey, can you build me a new page for the South End in Boston? And like, can you add some information about, you know, trends from the last 6 months? And the AI is going to do the work for you. And again, you need to go proofread it, right? Like make sure it sounds like you, but like that's 90% of the work right there. And so if you want to be hands-on in creation of content, but you don't want the pain in the assness of like, how do I actually get the technology to work for me? We feel like we've solved both of those problems, and you get to kind of take control over the information that's put on your site. And then that's ultimately disseminated out to all these other platforms.
Yeah, how I would answer that is, Steven, I'd start taking a look at something like what Playster has created, because they only specialize in sites, but SEO and AEO sites. That's a big difference. That's all they do. So
yeah,
look at this like is, what's the opportunity I can now have by bringing on Playster to the specific area that I cover, by delivering the content that's relevant to the audience that I'm trying to attract. So for instance, if I'm in Malibu, I would start breaking down all of Malibu, down from Broad Beach, right, to Zuma, to Carbon Beach, and then expand even further into that. And I do it all through the Playster site, because when you look at the back end of this and you click a button, it's like the amount of information that it's going through to organize it so that SEO finds it and ChatGPT finds it is crazy. That's my answer to that.
Yeah, I think it's a perfectly positioned angle around. We made this bet 9 months ago to rebuild our back end to be very AEO specific. And, you know, we knew that this was where the ball was going, even though it wasn't perfectly carved out, where there's not a playbook that says this is exactly what, you know, ChatGPT tells you to structure your site so then people can find you. Like, you know, the same way there wasn't the exact playbook 10 years ago around SEO, 15 years ago. And so making that investment on our side means that every piece of content we create for you, every piece of content you create yourself, we are structuring it to put you in the absolute best position to be found by all of these searches, so that whether they're going again to a GPT, to a Gemini, it doesn't matter. Your site's positioned to be found that way. And now we've done a lot of work around explaining to people in some of our past webinars, like the kind of content you should be creating to be found, right? That's another important element of this. When we create, I mean, we do blog content automatically for people. We do landing pages. We set that content up, not just behind the scenes it gets found, But so then the consumer, the way that the consumer is asking questions, those articles, those blogs, they're answering those questions. We're doing it stylistically to match both.
Tell me about Leon has got a question. Integrations. What do you integrate with as far as CRMs? So people can
we do direct integrations with most of the big CRMs out there, the Follow Up Bosses, the Line Desks. We do a lot of people use Zapier for integration as well. And Zapier has been awesome because we see people do it not just to CRMs, but before we had a direct integration with MailChimp, people were using Zapier to send, leads to MailChimp or send it out to Salesforce or HubSpot. So we've kind of made the connection. I love when our team gets kind of challenged with there's a new thing out there. Can we do it with Zapier or direct, API integration? We can really connect to everything on the back end. And same with the front end. People are coming to us with these insane AI chatbots that they want to put on the site. Great, we'll put that on your site for you. That's no problem. Or somebody finds a widget out there that they love that, does the home valuation in a way that's unique and different, and they want to put that in the site. We can support all of these third parties, whether they're plugins on the CRM side or on the front end. We'll really do both. And so the platform has a lot out of the gate for people who don't want to go find all the rest of the resources. But if you've got these third-party tools and you want to move away from the old all-in-one, go pay $1,000 a month to have somebody tell you that they do everything, Placer's that perfect slot to be your website provider and then plugging things into that. All right, let's talk about things that feed into your site. So obviously live MLS listings are going to be there. But I love the Hunt team. They do sold listings as well, and they keep an awesome index of all of their sold listings. These are one of those things that this happens outside of your website. This isn't the origination, but this is the place where it can live, right? So having a sold index, they'll do social promotions around neighborhoods and stats in those neighborhoods for sold. So, hey, we've sold X number of the homes that were sold last year in this neighborhood. We had 14% of them or 20% of them. Come check out what makes us the expert in this neighborhood. And so sold listings in general, I think, are awesome to be housed on your site because they'll kind of stay there forever, either through an MLS feed or uploading them manually through a pocket listing. Reviews and testimonials. So this woman, I'm going to go back to Amy because I love the way that she does this. She actually does this based off of address. And so she uploads all of her testimonials, and some of these are done through an automatic feed, right? So she's got that connected on one end, and the places she gets it where it's not through an automatic feed, she's up here and she can put them on her site. So this is an aggregate of Zillow reviews, Google reviews. She's got some from Real Satisfied, which was a company we placed her own for a long time. And then she's got ones that people have just sent her emails and said, oh my God, Amy, it was awesome working with you, ABC. And she'll toss that in her site. So now she's got a single place where all these other reviews kind of live, one here, one there. Now they're all together on her site. And again, this organization I think is great, having it be by address. And this is kind of one version of it. We've got other agents who will do it, more traditionally. They actually list out all of the responses from a Zillow, or he's got some from Google down here as well. So however you want to get this information onto your site, we can do it automatically. We pull it in when we build the site for people. But if you want to connect ones that are outside of the automatic connection, now your website will be that hub for all those reviews, for all those testimonials.
All right, man. How do, first off, Miriam, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. How do people jump into Playster? They just go to Playster, test it out. What do we do? Because I know you've got that build a site in 3 minutes or less.
Yeah, I would say go test it. I mean, we do 14-day free trials for everybody because we want to put our money where our mouth is. We really think that we've built this differentiator that people used to I mean, I said this morning in my presentation, no one joins real estate because they're oh, I love technology. I love building websites, right? That's not the main driver. And we get that too, right? I've been doing this for 12 years at Playster. I also don't like building real estate websites. So go check it out. Do the free trial. I mean, we see people who have a site somewhere else and then they start a site with us to just test it out, right? I want to see what it does. And some people will actually keep 2 different sites because they're using Playster as a hyper local site for 3 or 4 areas that they cover. And they've got this bigger site that they've built and they've had for 10 years. And then we see people making wholesale change, right? They're saying, oh, I never thought I would leave my website provider, mainly because it was a pain in the ass the first time I did it. It took a long time. It was expensive. They come to us, and in their 14-day free trial, they've got a site that was done in 3 minutes, and they tinker with it from there. So I highly recommend check out the trial. I think you'll be super impressed with what we do out of the gate and what the editor can do long-term.
Perfect, man. I like this. I like this a lot. I put up the link there. So everyone just click on that link so you can go run through it. If you go on there, it's just going to go take you through a little flow chart. Just answer the questions. Go, and then tell
All we
me.
need is name and phone number and location, and we'll get a site together for you.
I just wanted to mention that it's super interesting the way AI cites you. It really has nothing to do with your production. It all has to do with your content and reviews. So the more content you create, the more of a possibility you have to be cited. It has nothing to do with how many houses you sell.
So
Yeah,
actually,
Go ahead.
sorry to interrupt, Tristan, after our last webinar we did last week, I actually got a call from somebody who was on the webinar, and he said, hey, I'm like the number 2 agent in Chicago by production. I'm like the number 3 agent in Orlando by production, but like, I'm not being found in these markets. Like, what's going on? And him and I spent an hour talking about his value prop and how his value prop really wasn't out there in a tangible way. Like, it wasn't on the site. He didn't have reviews to back it up. And we had to break apart exactly what you said. The production alone wasn't just going to jump the line for him to be found.
The more you're mentioned online, even if you do it yourself, like even if you go like going into subreddits and for real estate and like answering people's questions, you do that 2-3 times a week, that's going to help. Every bit of content is going to help. So keep doing that.
The subreddit one's huge. I mean, we see Reddit getting referenced so often for our clients that are like active in Reddit, or they've been mentioned by other people, you know, like their kind of review lived in Reddit. Yeah.
Like there's an agent in my office who she's, you know, she does about 30 million a year, about 80 to 100 transactions a year. She's not big on content, but she has 300 reviews on Zillow, and she comes up like in the top 5 in multiple towns in my area, but it has nothing to do with her production, which is interesting.
I love that. Last question. Can we use this for any type of business?
Ooh, we get that a lot. You can, but go to like Squarespace or Wix. It's a lot easier. You're going to see the pulling into the IDX integration. It's so specific to real estate. I think I said this to somebody this morning, like GoDaddy's great for a lot of reasons. And if they decided they want to go dominate real estate, we're probably all screwed. I would say this is great for real estate. You can do blogging on it if you wanted to, but I think you're better off another platform if you're going to not do it for real estate.
I love it. All right, Casey, thank you so much, man. I always love
nice seeing you guys. Yeah.
Have a good one.
Enjoy the rest. See you guys.
All right, now the giveaway.
Oh, the giveaway. Okay.
I got something to give away too, besides the little baggies and stuff like that. In fact, I probably want to give.
Hey, I want to give away something too.
Give away something. All right. What are we going to give away first? And you have the rules and guidelines. What does this look like?
Okay.
Because I don't want to screw it up.
The rules and guidelines are
what is it?
To answer questions accurately and quickly.
Okay, what's the first?
It has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with whether or not we like you or not. If we don't like you, you're not going to win. So you might as well log off.
Oh, I got a good one. This one,
go.
if you've been here for the whole time, okay. This is for. I don't know what I have in the garage. I think it's a hat. I think it's a shirt.
You have a car. You can give away a car.
I don't have that in the garage with LCA. I was going to say LCA branded. Whatever is LCA branded.
Who's this? Who's?
I think it might be Young. Young.
Oh, there we go. Young, we're not done. We're not done, Young. Simmer down.
So it might be a hat. It might be a shirt. I don't know. All right, so we'll grab your information. Not a motorcycle, Kimberly. We need it LCA branded. Here we go. What was the name? And whoever answers first.
Yeah.
What was the name of the first presenter that we had today? Not Tristan and Nick.
You can't expect people to remember presenter
The first
names.
presenter's name, because we screwed it up. It was the best. Let's see if anybody gets this one. Oh, Steven, do me a favor.
Oh wait, I got an idea. Okay, watch this. Steven, you can choose. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play a game. It's like that game. Let's make a deal.
I don't even know what I have, so I don't know what you can choose.
Listen. You can choose. This is like Let's Make a Deal. That game show. You can choose LCA swag that Tristan has in his garage, right? Or you can choose what Tristan's giving away or what I'm giving away, but we're not going to tell you what.
Ooh, yeah, we won't tell you what until the end. That's a good one. Oh, what's it going to be, Steven? Door 1, door 2, or door 3? Door 1 is what LCA.
I think I know what you're giving away, though, Tristan.
Yeah, come on. It's easy. It's pretty easy. Door 2. Wait, what was door 2? Oh, wait, that's not Steven.
Steven was right. So Steven Atwell was right. It was Tyler from Red X. The prizes are you get to choose between 3 things. 1 is the LCA swag, which you know about. Or 2, you can choose between what I'm giving away or Tristan's giving away, but we're not going to tell you what we're giving away. You have to just risk it all.
He's risking it all for door 3, which is my door.
Wait, hold on. Ann, you weren't first. It was Steven. He was way up at the top.
Yeah. All right. So Steven, you want to choose door number 3. That's my door. Let me show you what I'm going to give away. So we're going to need your email address. Okay. I'm just going to share my screen really quick, and then we'll get your information.
I'm going to share my screen too.
I'm going to share my screen. No, I'm joking.
You go first.
It was a joke.
Tristan? Did he go away? Am I still on here? Tristan all of a sudden logged off. Let's wait for him to come back. I thought it was me. Hey, you logged off. All right. So
I guess it wasn't a joke. It just shut everything down.
Dude, what did you do? I'm like texting you. You logged out. I thought it was
magic. It's just magic. That's what I'm gonna give away. It's
you believe in magic.
AI workshop, and we're gonna do. If you're not part of it, well, first let me ask you, Steven, are you part of this already? Are you in it? Because if you are, then obviously we can do something else.
Imagine he's in it.
Steven, are you in this already? So give me a yes or a no so that I can.
Are you interested in AI coaching?
All right, it's a workshop that we do. Give me I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to type in something, Steven. If not, we're just gonna need your email address, and then we'll would love to be in the trial. Oh, perfect. So listen, Steven, not only do you get 1, right? We're going to give you 3 months of this as part of it. And it's very, very extremely involved. And yes, it works in Canada, everybody. Geez. This works in everywhere. If you're not part of it, join there. Steven, I need your email address. So do me a favor. Type in your email address. I'll connect you with Asusena, and then we'll hook you up for 3 months of this. It gets really intense, and we'd love to have you on there. If you're not part of it, join now. Let's go to the next one. What are we going to? What's our next question? The first one Steven got right. It was Tyler Redex. What's our next question? I've got another one. If you don't, in a cave.
Go ahead.
That was funny though. In a cave. All right. I've got one.
Okay.
What I'm going with names here. What was y'all remember Burton, who had the really low, nice voice, who sounded like he belonged on a radio show. His name was Burton. What's the company he represented? What was he talking about? It was Burton. What company was he talking about?
The first to type it.
First to type it in. We don't see it.
PropStream.
Oh,
Stephen Hill. Good job.
Wait. We got. Hold on.
Stephen is first.
Well, Stephen, not on my list.
No, he wasn't first. It was Mark.
Yeah. On my list, it was Kelly.
It's
Look at
coming in
Kelly.
all
Look-
weird. Kelly Handy.
Scroll up to the top. Yeah, Kelly's first.
It's Kelly. You're right. So
All right,
Kelly,
Kelly.
here's your here are your choices.
Number
Not
one or two.
KW, LA, LCA swag, or what I'm giving away.
Door number 1. Door number 2. Kelly.
If you don't pick me, I'm
Door-
gonna be very hurt. Because that means that a hat is better than what I have to give.
Info. We don't know. Wait, I don't even know if I have a hat. It could be a shirt or something.
Kelly chose 2. Okay, Kelly, here's what I'm giving away. So you guys just saw Playster with their sites. But here's the funny thing. I started a company that makes those type of sites, but on steroids. So you thought Playster was good. I'm going to show you what I do. Okay. So can I share my screen?
Go.
How do you do that? Present?
Yeah, go to the little
Share
plus button
screen.
in the middle, and then choose the screen, and it should pop up right there.
Okay. So first I'm going to show this. It's called Neighbor AI.
Let me see
And
where we're at.
I launched this about a month ago, and we're making sites for agents all over the country, and it's all done through Claude. You don't have to lift a finger. We do everything for you, and you just share your details on a Google Doc, and me and my virtual assistants go to town. We talk about neighborhood. It's around your neighborhood, any neighborhood you want, any zip code. So neighborhood narrative, market snapshot, schools and amenities, your brand, your colors, mobile optimized and load super fast. Your headshot, your bio, and here's some examples of how they look. And I'm going to show you a site. You can embed maps in the whole 9.
Dude, that looks beautiful.
So let me see. So it's set up for SEO and AI SEO. We have frequently asked questions. So you get about 15 to 20 FAQs, which Google eats up. They love that. And the questions are written the way people search for that information.
Boom.
We give you market snapshots. We give you named subdivisions and developments in that location, selling the lifestyle with dining, shopping, parks, events, etc. And you're going to get it. It's a one-time fee of $297 for free. And can you see this screen?
Oh, look at that, dude. Good job.
So this is one I just made for a client in North Carolina. Do you see it?
I see your blue screen, simple, transparent pricing.
Oh, I got to stop sharing and reshare.
Let me know what we're supposed to be looking at.
Right here. So this is one I made for a client in North Carolina. It's
Nice.
55 plus communities. So it's a website all about 55 plus communities. So this is a blurb about why the Triangle has become America's #1 spot for retirement. We've got all the different communities, and they all lead to the websites. So everything is backlinked. So these lead to those websites. These are the different communities in the area. You've got schools that lead to the school websites. You've got market. So we're comparing 2025 to 2026 market stats. And here we have this compares Raleigh versus Cary versus Durham, North Carolina. Then you have commute times. So how long it takes to get to certain important landmarks like the airport, et cetera, et cetera. And then everything leads back to your website for your IDX. So this doesn't have IDX. It's not meant to have IDX, but it does link back to your IDX website. There's 6 to 7 calls to action on every website. So here's your frequently asked questions, and they open up like an accordion. And then here's the best part. We create a 30-page home buyer's guide, which is included for you. That is a lead magnet. So when they fill this form out, they get sent the 30-page home buyer guide, or 15-page or 25-page, whatever it comes out to.
Kelly, you got a steal. That was
Kelly.
good...
So Kelly, I hope that you are happy with what you chose. So here's the website. It's neighborai.com. Kelly, what's your email address?
We'll get that one, and then we'll give away now.
It's NABORAI, not neighbor. It's spelled fun. It's spelled cool. You know what I mean?
Neighbor. It's spelled cool.
It's by zip code or by subdivision or by niche or by whatever you want it to be, dude. It could be as niche as you want it to be.
That's right.
Oh, there's Kelly.
Right. All right. Now, last giveaway, I think, right? Are we? We're just doing 3.
We can do one more.
All right. Well, we're going to give away swag, whatever I've got in my garage. That's swag. That's LCA Tide. And let me go for the last question, unless you've got a question, Nick.
I don't. Oh, okay. So my question, if you want to know the pricing, Catherine, go to neighborai.com, NABORAI.com, and the pricing's at the bottom of the page. So what is my
question?
What was on Real Estate Content AI? What was the AI video feature called?
Oh, dude, I don't even know that.
I remember.
Video feature?
Remember the video feature, like the avatar?
Yeah. I don't remember the name of it, but that's actually a really good question.
No, not Calc.
No, Debbie, that was the bridge loan.
Yeah, not AI Twin. Close.
Vanessa, AI Twin / or /?
No.
Pam uses it. That might count. My Pet Tips.
What was the speaker's name?
Avatar ? What
was the speaker's name?
It was Kyle.
Right. It was. He said it was called Kyle AI.
It was called Kyle AI?
Yeah.
Now I have to log in, dude. Real Estate Content AI. Hold on. Real Estate. You had to pick Real Estate Content AI.
Let's think of another question.
I don't know that that's a fair question. Real Estate.
Okay, fine. You know what? Whatever.
.ai.
Okay, what was the name of the video game company that my uncle owned? That
I don't even remember
the guy from Cal.
Somebody weird's gonna remember that. Hold on, I'm logging.
What was the game? What was the game that the guy from Calc said he was playing before he jumped on the webinar?
That's crazy. Personal brand. Does anybody get it while I'm looking for this on the back end?
Pam, you don't have to be a gamer to know what game he said he was playing.
You know what? While we're all trying to figure that out, I'm just going to show you the back end of Real Estate Content AI, and you tell me where you think it.
Larry's asking me how many neighborhoods are included in the price. You get one neighborhood or zip code, Larry, or city.
And somebody asked about IDX. There's no IDX to it, but you can tie your IDX to
okay, so Christina got it right. She said Civ 6, Civilization 6. She's right.
Oh, she's the winner. Okay, Christina. Well, I have to connect my Canva now that I saw
so
it.
Christina Mills, Civ 6. Pam was first, but she said Civvy something. But Christina said Civ 6, and Civ is what gamers call it, so I'm going to give it to her.
All right. Then, Christina, do me a favor. Type your email there. I'm going to email you. Look in my garage, and I'll email you and ask you all the details to see what we got. Fortnite. I mean, Fortnite is what we play.
Fortnite's what we play, but
yeah. Christina, shoot me your email, and then I will do that right now, because if I don't, oh, thank you so much.
Christina at findlakecityhomes.com.
Christina at findlakecityhomes.com. And Christina, where is that? What areas do you cover? Tell me in the chat, and then I'm going to email this. I'm going to email you right now so I don't forget it. And I'm going to include my team so they can remind me. Christina won. Yay. You won, just not sure what merch yet. That's what I'm texting you, okay? That's what I'm emailing you, Christina. Now, look in your spam, Christina, because sometimes my email goes into spam. I just sent it over to you right now. Everyone, what was your biggest takeaway on this one? What'd you learn as we're wrapping up? Let me know. I want to know in the chat. What was the cool thing that you got? Like, hey, I'm going to use that. I'm going to jump into that. I want to learn more about that. What did that look like in your head? I was really surprised with real estate content AI because I hadn't been paying attention the last month.
They really upped their game. Remember, I was asking you a couple months ago if they're doing video, and you said no.
Yeah.
And now it's pretty sick that they're doing it.
Pam says prop stream. Pam, I agree with you. Every time I do a webinar with Burton, I'm like, there's just so much data there,
dude.
And
so
if
much
I was
data.
starting,
I don't even know. I wouldn't even know where to start, dude. It
well,
would be so overwhelming.
if I was starting back in real estate, that would be one of the core things that I use to be able to target anything. Like if I want to go down to targeting people who have 500,000 in equity in a specific neighborhood over the age of 55, I can do that. And I'm like, now I know what to do. So yeah, PropStream is extremely powerful. One of my favorite.
Chris says people are suckers for free swag. Well, swag is free. Merch you have to pay for.
Oh, I like the distinction. So many cool things. Didn't know. Nick's website, Steve. Nick's website's pretty cool, right?
Thanks,
I love
buddy.
That.
If you want more information, you can go to neighborai.com, or you can just email me at nickbaldwin1979@gmail.
Yep. Chris, yeah, I learned never move to Canada. So funny, Kelly.
Steven's wondering if we're going to cut this down so we can go back and watch particular segments. I think we do that.
We break them down into segments and then we keep everything all together as well. So
Chris says he used to be with Real Estate Content AI and now he's going back.
Yeah. I mean, I think, Chris, you kind of felt what I was feeling, which was like, wait a second. How did I miss all that? So, yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for jumping in. Appreciate you all. This was great. Have an awesome day.
Rest of your day. Bye.
We appreciate you all.